Bam! Welcome to the very first episode of Hearth and Home with yours truly, Clark HELLSCREAM. But today it is not about me. It is about Rami, as he says it is properly pronounced. It's all about rolling those R's. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Rami, to everyone who is not familiar with the Hearthstone Grandmasters.
Hey Clark, first of all, this is not just my episode, this is Boomy's episode,
Oh, of course.
my little cutie dog. Well, I am Rami, I'm a Hearthstone player, Grandmaster right now from Argentina. Um, I don't know, I play a lot of Hearthstone, and that's pretty much all of it.
Yeah. So just to tell everyone how everything is going to go down for this kind of video series, my idea is to essentially get Hearthstone creators in a room one-on-one and just talk. We're literally just going to talk about everything not Hearthstone related. The very first 5 minutes is going to be about, catching up people with who may not be familiar with Rami's successes and the Hearthstone Grandmasters, because not everybody does watch competitive Hearthstone, but if it's just another way of finding another
Yeah,
person to get interested in it, then we can just take this opportunity. But regardless, the very first question that I'm always going to ask every single guest that I have on here is, what exactly brought you to Hearthstone, and what kept you with the game specifically? Like, about when did you pop onto the scene?
well, I started playing Hearthstone at the university. I was quite bored with some friends. Um, on I think a statistics class or something like that. Well, one of my friends was playing it, so I just checked it and I saw that I was able to play it on my phone, which was not a good phone at all. My mobile, I mean. So I say, okay, I will try it, and I loved it. I mean, I always liked to do maths and stuff like that. Playing this game was like, okay, this is what I usually do well, and I will try to play it as much as I can. um, I was not competitive at all for the first 2 years playing it. Like, I was able to make it to legend and maybe sometimes top 100 or something like that. Um, but then I saw PNC playing on a big tournament and making a lot of money, and I said, "Okay, I want to do this."
Now it's the time.
Yeah. So that was it.
Okay, so you would say that probably PNC is like one of the biggest motivators that you had to pick up the game competitively and like start kicking ass in it.
No, I think money was.
Oh, money. All right. Well, that's always a better motivator for some people. Honestly, like that's the motivation for me right now to do more content creation rather than just doing like grinding open cups and whatnot. But
Nah,
regardless, what would you say was like the deck that made you fall in love with Hearthstone? Out of curiosity, and
the
that'll be my last
deck.
Hearthstone question.
I saw one guy playing Inspire Priest, no, RNG Priest or something like that, which which just had every single RNG card. I think it was Noxious or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't
they,
remember
like
his
like
name.
Paltris Priest back in the day.
Yes, I love that
Yeah.
card. Sorry that I'm looking a lot downsides because my dog just woke up and he's trying to ruin everything right now. Sorry. Yes, I used to love that deck with Confessor Pailtress, and it was just so random. I love it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was
Well,
pretty much it.
I'm about to pour myself a cup of water, and I've actually got myself a beer. Because you were saying that you were wanting
Oh,
to drink something in particular. What was that drink again?
oh, it's called Fernet. It's a beverage from my country that has Fernet, of course, and some Coca-Cola. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah, I am. I mean, it has some alcohol, but not a lot. But that's it.
Yeah, I'm just drinking a Corona. Like honestly, I was not really a big drinker back when I was younger. I really didn't get into it until I was. I mean, I'll go ahead and admit I drank when I was 19. Oh no, to some people that's like, oh, that's fine, but in the U.S. we have a drinking age of 21, and it's it's kind of lame. Just one of the many ways that sometimes things can vary very easily.
Yeah. I don't drink a lot. I never did, but the first time I got drunk, I was like 13 or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, the drink age here in my country is way lower than that.
Wait, hold on. So you said 13?
Yes.
Wait, so what's the drinking age then? I'm assuming it's 18, right?
Kind of. I mean,
what kind
sure.
of? Could you elaborate?
I mean, you should be older than 18 to be able to buy some drinks, but that doesn't happen.
Okay, all right. It's one of those classic things to where the seniors give alcohol to the freshmen, that kind of deal.
Kind of. I mean, I was 13 and I was the one buying it, so
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but regardless, we can do a quick cheers before we get down to business, because just so everyone knows, today is just all about having a good vibe. We're just gonna chill, so cheers, Rami.
Cheers.
All right. So, to just go into some of the questions that I have here. Before we get into like hobbies and like favorite music and stuff like that, because that stuff's like really easy. I actually want to know a little bit about how it's like living in Argentina, because as someone who I haven't really I mean, I've left my country. I've gone to Canada and I've gone to Mexico before, but I've never left my continental continent. Well, continental continent's a little redundant, but regardless, what's it like living in Argentina?
It's actually not that different. I mean, I went to Texas at the beginning of last year to compete in a master tour. One of the things that surprised me was the fact that everything was so familiar, I guess. Like, most people was talking in Spanish for some reason. I don't know why.
What part of Texas were you in?
I don't remember. It was near to the Dallas Stadium, I think.
Wait, you say it was a Masters tour, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, or it was Arlington. That was Arlington. Yeah.
Oh, Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington. That was actually the Open Cup I got second place in. I'm never gonna forget that.
Oh.
Very, very sad, but
so close.
yeah, Arlington, Texas is where that is. I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to the border, so that's probably a reason why. I mean, Texas has a lot of Spanish-speaking natives, regardless.
Yeah, and it was like I wanted to train my English because I'm clearly not so good at talking in English.
I mean, so far you've been on the money.
Oh, nice. I was like, wait, I want to practice my English. Don't talk to me in Spanish. But yeah, I mean, living in Argentina means you're going to play a lot of football. Everyone plays football, soccer in your country.
Yeah.
You're going to drink a lot of mate, which is I don't have it right now. I'm pretty sure that you saw at least once or twice Nalgidan playing on stream while drinking mate. I also used to drink a lot of it. What else? You're going to listen to a lot of cumbia, which is, well, we will talk about that later, I guess, when we talk about music. That's pretty much it. Then it's almost the same as everyone else. We eat a lot of meat. We have some asados, which is kind of similar to your barbecues, but better.
Well, what makes them better? Hold on a minute. Like, if you're gonna talk this smack, you gotta back up. You gotta back it up.
I'll send you some photos of it.
Okay, all right, and
I'll let you see. I mean,
yeah, anything you want to send to us, we can easily put it on the overlay. So like, this is something I can edit in post. So whatever you want to send us, I can easily put it on the screen.
Okay, I will send you then one photo from asado.
But what kind of meat is it, out of curiosity?
Cow.
Okay, so it's like a kind of beef.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can make some cow, maybe some pig. I don't know how is it called in English.
Pig is pork.
Yeah,
In a
yeah.
lot
I
of different
mean,
ways. I mean,
no,
pig,
I'm
pork,
trying to.
bacon, lot of ham. There's a lot of different things that pig is actually made of. It's kind of a trick
Yeah, yeah,
question.
true. I mean, it's a lot of everything. Let me see. Okay, this looks tasty.
Okay, but you've got you've got meat in it. What else is in it? I guess I should just wait until I see the picture.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can make a lot of things on the grill. I just sent you one picture, I guess.
Ooh, okay.
And here's another one with some vegetables on it.
Okay, so you like cook up like some corn, cook up like some potatoes. Oh, this looks delicious.
Yeah,
Got some lamb that I see on there. Some lamb and some fish. Oh no, okay, no,
yeah.
that's the beef. That's just how the beef is cut. It's very slim. I was kind of like anticipating like a steak almost, but I guess it's like a different cut of the cow.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's a different cut, I guess.
Yeah, Americans are all about steaks. Like steak is good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do love myself a good steak, but I really feel like a lot of people like limit themselves on like what a good meat palate is, because like just because you like your steak medium rare doesn't mean that you're a meat connoisseur.
It's not that common here to eat it almost raw as you eat.
Okay.
Like medium rare for us is like you have to cook it for at least 5 more minutes or something like that.
So you like your meat a lot more well done, or it's either
yes.
all the way or nothing.
I mean, not well done, like without a single portion of red meat, but not so raw as you eat it, I guess.
Yeah, there's I don't know if this will directly translate, but there's a way of cooking steak called cooking it blue, and at least of how I've seen it in like fancy. It's only in like really high end steak places, because if you go to like a lower end steak place, they're not gonna do it well. But if you have a really good chef, the whole point is just to like literally cook the meat to where the bacteria is off of it, and it's almost like eating like a raw steak almost. And I've never been able to do something like that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's like the most rare way to have your meat, and I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Not my style. I like I like the juice. It's all about the juice whenever it comes to meat, and that's why I like tossed up things. Like I'm a complete victim of like chicken and rice. Any kind of combination, if you want to like name like sautéed vegetables. Like I'm a victim for it.
Nice. Yeah, I love doing some vegetables on the grill also. I just send you another photo which has some, I don't know how is it called in English, but yeah, it has some. You put the egg inside and you wait until it's cooked. You can have also some cheese, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
All right. Well, one of my next questions.
Let me see how it's called.
Is
it's.
What am I?
Sorry, it's called bell pepper.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I meant by peppers. Like there's red peppers, there's green peppers.
Oh, nice. Whenever you need me to speak, I will sing La Macarena.
Okay, all right, there we go. All right, I don't know why. I think I'm either losing it, but like I thought there was like a delay or something like that. My bad. So let's go ahead and continue. Sorry about that little technical snafu. Sure. But one of my next questions that I have written down on here is it's like kind of going back to the to Argentina, but like what would you say makes your country unique? Because I'm just like curious about learning as much from other people as possible, because that's like another reason why I kind of want to do this, like get different perspectives and whatnot.
What makes Argentina unique? We hug a lot. Like we.
Okay, yeah, very emotional, very emotional.
Yeah, we are very emotional. Like I've met some people from some countries from Europe. When I say hi, I try to hug them and kiss them on the cheeks. They were like, no, go away. And that was pretty weird for me. I mean, if you do that in Argentina, that would be rude. Like here, everyone kisses each other on the cheeks for everything. Um, that's pretty much it. We are very emotional. I don't know. Uh, we tend to express what we feel a lot.
Yeah, it's not. I would say that here in America, it's kind of like a mix. Like it really just depends on who you are, but like usually it's like I'll give an example. Like there's one of those cases to where like you just say like, "Hey, how's it going?" to someone that you like see in school every day, and you have like either one of two ways of responding. You either say, "I'm okay," or that's it. Like you either say, "I'm fine," or like and you or if you feel bad, you keep it to yourself. It's just like one of those things to where you try not to like bother people with your problems unless it's like really really apparent, like like you just like lost like a family member or something like that, and like you kind of need like someone to help you out, or like you just like lost a boyfriend or something. Um,
I
but
mean,
like,
that's small talk. Like we
yeah,
do that here
of course,
too. Like you don't go just talking about all your problems to every single one that you
yeah,
meet on the street.
yeah.
But
It feels very very amplified over here because like it's just like kind of like the individual like the individual culture that we have here, where like kind of has like everyone has to look out for themselves to a degree. And like I was just wondering if it kind of feels like Argentina is like more like collective as a populace.
I mean, kind of like if you are with a lot of strangers, sure you will try to protect your own stuff. But I mean, with people you know and you love, uh, you just you can't help trying to care for them and trying to hug them and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah. So like we tend to say a lot that we love each other. Uh, I mean, at least I do that a lot. Like whenever I get drunk, I just go everywhere, just trying to hug every single one of my friends and
Ah,
tell them that I love them.
do you have any good drunk stories? Because
I'm not
I've
sure.
actually got like I've got a few that are actually related to the Hearthstone scene and definitely outside of the Hearthstone scene. But go ahead. Do you
um,
have any interesting ones?
the first time I hit top 10 legend, I was playing some kind of Kazakus mage. Like Reno was already out of standard. It was when I think
Right when Wild
right
happened, right?
after. Yeah, when Mean Street of Gadget-san, when
Okay.
we got Kazakos. Yeah, at that time, I was like the only person playing Kazakos Mage in top 10, I guess. Um, and I was so drunk. Some friends were with me and they were saying, "What the? You can't be winning this match playing like that." um,
It's
I
like
don't
one of those
know.
like drunk fist moments where like the more you drink, the more you understand this really obnoxiously weird, complicated deck.
No, it was just high rolling everything.
Okay. Well, I mean that's okay. That works too.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes you go back to top 3000 legend, but one time every once in a while, it works.
But yeah. So you were able to climb up to the top legend with this Reno mage.
Yeah, yeah. We have some offline tournaments here in Argentina. I mean, we used to have before the whole COVID situation. Um, right after we play in those tournaments, we all go to, I don't know, to a bar or something like that. Like 20 players from Argentina to one bar. Um, we go to a place called El Álamo. I once got slightly drunk there with some friends. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah. So there's a few different drunk stories that I have. So do you want to hear the one that's Hearthstone related or something that's like not Hearthstone related?
Hearthstone related, please.
Okay. So oh god, which Dreamhack was this? So it was Dreamhack Montreal 2017, I believe.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it seems so long ago. Like the last Dreamhack that I went to was Montreal 2019, and that was like the fall right before the pandemic started. But I mean, unfortunately, I really hadn't been able to do much in that year. But I'm kind of digressing. So like back in 2017, I forget who had won that. I think it was like either Orange or I can't freaking remember. But regardless, Orange was really happy because he had really good placement. And as soon as he like walked into the bar, we were in this place called the Meltdown, and it's essentially it's an esports bar, to where you have like a GameCube, okay. you have every single console there, you have computer setup, you could play Overwatch, you could play any of the games that they have preloaded on there, but they pretty much had like all of the major stuff like Blizzard, Epic, all that stuff. But as soon as Orange arrived, he literally walked in the door and he said, "I'm buying everybody shots." That was the first thing that he said, and so many people ended up just like getting so many shots from Orange. I think I ended up like taking 2 or 3. And if it wasn't for my buddy Lizamos, I'm shouting out Lizamos and I'm shouting out Pizza in this story because they really helped me out in this event. But I probably had one too many, and I was about to take another one to go even further into the deep end. And Lizamos was like, "Nope, you've had enough, buddy. It's time to put it down. It's time to get you some water and get you hydrated." And luckily, I was like, "Yeah, you're right, man. I'm feeling a little like a little tipsy." But where the story starts getting funny is when it's 3 a.m. It's last call. Everybody has to get out of the bar and whatnot. And unfortunately, we all got kicked out when I really had to use the restroom. And there was a McDonald's that was right down the street, and Pizza was like, "You want to know what? There's a McDonald's right down the street. I need to go get some food, so you can just come with me." And oh wait, no, I'm actually skipping a step. So I ended up running to the McDonald's that was down the street, and they said, "No, you have to buy something." And I didn't have Canadian currency, and they were only taking cash at the time, so I couldn't use my card. So I literally couldn't buy food for them to to give me the key to go use the restroom. So I run back down and I say, "Guys, I need someone to buy food with Canadian currency in order to let me use the restroom." And Pizza was like, "I'm hungry anyway. I'll save you. I'll give mercy on your soul." He didn't exactly say it that way, but he ended up just buying some food so that way I could go use the restroom. And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have pissed on the street looking like an absolute moron as an American in Montreal during the winter. So if it wasn't for Pizza, yeah, I would have made a fool of myself. But that's one of my stupid drunk stories. And on the way back, I was completely obnoxious, just talking about how Pizza was my savior. Lizamos can confirm all of this.
One question. Lizamos was the guy who made the Delete Priest song, right?
Yes. Delete the Priest.
Please.
It was the parody of "Hey There, Delilah."
Yeah. That song is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, like I've done a lot of musical things in my life, but that's pretty up. That's up there in terms of not only hilarity, but like he's also a really good musician. He was really like literally told me that he was like really scared of posting that because he asked me before he posted it if this would be good. And I'm like, "Dude, this is gold. You just."
Yeah.
Then it just freaking blew up. It blew up out of nowhere. It was amazing.
Have you ever tried to make some music Hearthstone related or something like that?
I'm kind of trying to get involved with this project that's just now starting in like the past 2 weeks called Hearthstone Cypher, and I can send you more information on this if you're interested. But
okay.
It's essentially it's gonna be a bunch of Hearthstone creators like doing taking turns rapping. It's gonna be like a cipher. Essentially, is a bunch of different people rapping over a beat, but they take turns. So it's kind of like you're all in a group or whatever in like a circle, and you're taking turns, that kind of thing. It's supposed to be like really really a community based, and hopefully I will be able to back this musically. I'm still figuring out if I'm able to do this logistically because I would have to get my band involved, and I am not going to get them involved on a project that is going to not be worth their time financially and all of that.
Yeah.
So we're just hammering out specifics before we decide to 100% go into it. But we're interested for sure. And if we're able to do that, then hopefully we will be we'll have our instrumental covers there, and then it'll be mixed digitally, so that way it'll sound better for people to rap over. But other than that, there was a time that I was talking with That's Admirable to try and get some Hearthstone parodies off the ground, and then suddenly he just never got back to me because that was when his casting was really getting off the ground. Well, not really getting off the ground, but he was just really busy.
Yeah.
But nothing really happened from that. But I would love to do something more with my musical talents in the Hearthstone realm. But as a drummer, it's kind of difficult. Not really needing beats nowadays.
Yeah. You don't sing?
In front of people, no. By myself, kinda.
What?
I have thought
on the
about
shower.
I've thought about doing like a vocal cover one of these days. I think I've decided on like a 3 Days Grace song, honestly. Not gonna 100% say what it is yet in case I decide to back out of it, but oh god, am I really about to tell this story? Oh shit. Oh god.
Yes, please.
Fine. All right. So back when Clark was in grade school, we're going back in time, dude. I can't believe I'm remembering this story. So one of the reasons why I don't like singing in front of people is because back when I was a kid, I wanted to sing Linkin Park's "What I've Done." That was right when that fucking song came out. And like there was like this block party, and I don't know how, but I somehow convinced these people to let me do it. And as soon as the track started, I bolted. I ran. I just ran, dude. I literally ran home. That was like either 3 or 4 blocks away from me, because like these were like people that I went to school with, and I had to like see these people the next day, and that wasn't even in my fucking thought process. But yeah, dude, I just fucking bolted. And like that kind of like began the stage fright at the very beginning. Like if I'm doing drums, I don't fucking care. But something about like, you know, talking to a whole group of people, because I've actually sung on stage before, like recently with my band. I've sung All Star. You know, somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. But
I mean,
yeah, I've done it a few times.
But now you stream, so now you're used to talking in front of cameras and stuff like that. So
yes and no.
Nice.
There's the, you know, not seeing people aspect that is kind of important to point out. But
yeah,
now that I've, you know, talked to enough strangers, like networking with people whenever I'm like you know, at a gig or whatever, or like talking to like random people to be like, hey, we got this show coming on. Like it's a lot easier because of that. But the biggest thing is that literally my body will like shake. Like there's just like this like nervousness to it every now and again, and I'm still like trying to overcome that 100%, because that is nervousness, like deep down at its root. If we want to get philosophical here.
I mean, that happened to me a lot when I was younger. I mean, 12, 13 years old, that I was also like scared to talk in front of people.
Just like stage fright, or just like general, just like talking?
I mean, I used to work since I was almost a child, like 12, 13 years, as some kind of teacher, let's say. Like I used to do some math class to other students and stuff like that. So I had to learn how to be a teacher, how to be in front of other students since I was very young. I also went to a lot of, I don't know how to call it, campings, maybe?
Like outdoor staying out night, staying out. I'm completely screwing up my words here.
We had to do a lot of outdoor activities.
And like sleeping during the night outside, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just camping. That's the right word.
Just camping. Sometimes I was in charge of other children like when I was, I don't know, 15 years or 16, I had to take care of children from age, I don't know, 6 to 12.
Yeah, make sure they don't get eaten by bears and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I was also in charge of making them play some games. Like
What kind of games, out of curiosity?
Oof,
Like just
some
like typical
kind of,
camping stuff, like oh man, I did camping when I was a kid, but I hated it, so I really don't remember that much of it. Like the moment that people started doing campfire songs, I was out emotionally and physically.
we didn't make some camping songs, let's say, but we had to make some sketches. Like we had to.
Okay, like having fun though, like you're being creative.
Yeah. Being creative, trying to act some stuff.
Yeah, it's different than
like
singing off key to a song.
Yeah, so I was all the time in front of other children, other people from my own age, and sometimes I had to be in charge of them, let's say. So I couldn't feel any shame. No, not shame. Like I couldn't feel awkward because I couldn't feel like stage fright, what's it called?
Yeah, because you were in charge of all these people. Like if you would have freaked out, then they would have freaked out.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
If you can't control these kids, what nerve do these kids have to like why do they have to listen to you? Like if you are clearly like, oh hey guys, don't do that over there, they're gonna completely eat you.
Yeah. If I was not even in control of myself, how the hell was I supposed to be in control of them? Yeah, that's it.
I've literally got a friend who's I don't even know how he's doing this right now during a pandemic, but he's actually like a teacher's assistant to like 5-year-olds, like kindergartners, I think. And he keeps telling me there's this one kid who's like a not necessarily like a chess prodigy, but he's quickly learning the game like a lot faster than these other kids, and he's like a really big chess buff. Like in the past year and a half, he's really been getting back into it and like playing on chess online, chess.com and all of that. I don't think he's like trying to like take it seriously, but he's just like, rekindling his spirit for the game. But like he deals with kids all the time, and all he does is just tell me stories of how these kids will do nothing but try to manipulate teachers to get whatever the hell they want. Like, good lord,
Yeah,
like kids are demons.
Make that kid start playing Hearthstone right now.
Oh my god, let's go. He'll see the lines immediately.
Yes, I mean, imagine if one kid makes it to Legend at, I don't know, the age of 8 or something like that. That would be awesome.
The first tournament I went to, a 12-year-old actually got top placement.
Wow, nice.
His name was MTG Kid. It was DreamHack Denver 2017, and it was the event where Ike won. He won the entire event undefeated, I believe. But back to MTT Kid, I think he ended up getting top 16 placement, and I had almost made it if Rosti didn't play Skulking Geist against my Jade Druid on turn 5. I would have maybe won that game. I will never forgive him for that. But regardless, MTD Kid ended up winning that, and he ended up going up against Shoop, and Shoop destroyed him in like less than like 15 minutes. It was completely, it was a massacre. A bunch of people were just being like, Shoop, don't do it, he's a child. But he played really well. I think those were during the, oh god, was that during Even Lock? I think that was during the Even Lock days. Wait, no, that was Knights of the Frozen Throne. That was Knights of the Frozen Throne. So that was like Q Block and like Raza Priest and Jade Druid and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. Is he still playing or something?
I haven't seen him since that event. Like that was back when like Ike and Dr. Jinkaninki and oh god, I can't remember.
I love that name.
Yeah, like luckily they'll be I really hope they'll be making some comebacks onto the Hearthstone scene. Like I definitely miss Dr. J. Like Dr. J was one of my favorite casters back in the day, as well as Lorenda. Like Lorenda's been doing a lot more casting recently, and he's been streaming as well, Battlegrounds more than not. And I always try to catch those streams when possible. And actually, speaking of Lorenda, have you played Among Us with that guy before? Like, have you ever played Among Us before?
I don't play Among Us. I see a lot of videos from Hafu playing it. I love her. He's such a genius. And also some videos from this guy's Toast playing Among Us. But
Yeah,
no,
those are. I
don't
would
play
say
it
those are
myself
probably the
much.
people to. Those are probably the people to watch if you're wanting Among Us content. But I've done some Among Us lobbies with Lorenda specifically, and I'll tell you right now, never trust that guy. Good lord, he
Oh,
is
why?
so good. He's just so good at talking out his ass. Like, and he's so persuasive. I don't even know how he does it, but it's just the way that he chooses his words. Like, I would say him and Sottle were probably like the hardest people to read whenever I was in lobbies with them. But I'm very bad at the game. I want to believe in the good of people. And when you're literally trying to figure out a murderer amongst yourselves, you know, I'm gonna be the worst person to help figure that out.
I am so bad at lying. I can't lie. I start laughing and
I can lie
I don't
about,
know.
you know, certain things, but if I'm like around people that I'm not really, you know, that familiar with, I don't want to lie to these people. I want to, like, you know, leave a good impression and be like, you know, maybe we can like hang out in the future or something like that. Because if you're lying from the beginning, they're not gonna trust you.
I love seeing Saikuno play Among Us because he never lies. He's always like, yeah, yeah, I'm the imposter. Um, I will
You would
vote
feel like that would
myself.
kind of ruin the experience a little bit, but then there's just like that wholesome aspect to it. It's like, yeah, I did it in cold blood. Here's the murder weapon.
Yeah, but you can trust him because he's saying he's imposter, so maybe he's not. And he's always saying it, so he can't be every single time the imposter. I like that strategy a lot. Like
We gotta.
if I played more Among Us, I will be like that.
Yeah, we
Just
got to get you in a lobby. I know that Bemi actually has played the game before. I don't know if that many of the people from Attack Mode have played. I know that Eggo Waffle's actually
um
done it. Eggo Waffle's done it on
oh
stream. But those would be some people to hit up if you're trying to make a lobby. And there's actually a Discord for it, but I don't know how active it is anymore. It was active when the game was popular, but now that people have kind of like, you know, gotten hyped about Hearthstone and the game's kind of like, it hasn't died out, but, you know, its popularity is definitely not what it was like a couple months ago, but it's still very much prevalent.
I mean, the core set is coming pretty soon, so everyone's going back to playing Hearthstone, I guess.
I mean,
Like,
I tried to get my brother. I literally like told my brother his favorite deck, unnerfed Miracle Rogue. I'm pretty sure there's like 5-mana Gadgetzan coming back, and even that, his favorite deck of all time, was not enough in order to get him hyped for the core set because he just simply doesn't like RNG. He's a Dota player. He plays OS, he plays fighting games. He's all about, like, you know, maintaining your strategy and being the reason why you win versus like, oh, I got the better card, ha ha ha, I win. And I feel like I kind of ruined that for him.
yeah, I mean, sometimes, yes, Hearthstone is all about RNG, but that doesn't happen too often. I don't know. I mean,
Do you
like,
play any fighting games?
I am so bad at every single game that requires you to be fast with your hands. Like,
I feel like
no,
so
no.
many Hearthstone players share that testament, man. Because like, I've tried, like, I literally got the Master Chief Collection of Halo, and I'm so bad at like just normal difficulty. I would say like the only video game that I actually know is probably Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically because of how much time I put into that game.
I mean, right now I'm trying to play some Hades, something like that.
Oh, Hades, the new game that just came out that
yeah.
Ridiculous Hat absolutely loves.
Yeah, I started playing because Ridiculous Hats was
Yeah.
always mentioned in that game.
My brother's also playing that.
I love it, but I am so bad at it. Like, I've been playing like, I don't know, 60 hours at least, and I couldn't defeat Hades even once.
Jeez.
Like, I feel so frustrated at the same time because I always like being somewhat good at everything what I do. I can't.
So like I've never actually like played the game before. I've seen a lot of people talk about it. So what exactly like how do you play Hades? Isn't it like kind of like Slay the Spire where like It's like a roguelike where you have to like travel through like doors, and like whatever decisions you make kind of dictates whatever path you are presented with.
I mean, it's more like Warcraft 3,
Okay.
like, but you only play with, I don't know, Thrall, for example, like the champion, the hero. Like you have one hero and you see him from the top, like in Warcraft, and you have some powers, let's say, like one basic attack and one special attack. You just have to be fast with your hands. Um, just try to kill every single enemy that you face, and then you make it to the next stage, and you get some power ups. Uh, that's pretty much it. Like you are building your character while killing stuff. More like Diablo, maybe. Like you get some stuff while killing stuff. That's pretty much it. But
yeah, kind of like a dungeon crawl game.
Yeah,
dungeon crawl game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I've never played Diablo, but there was this game I played called Fate. Oh god, I think what was the name of the developer? I think it was like Tangent Gaming or something like that. I'll probably have to look that up. But it was like a really bad knockoff of I should say knockoff of Diablo, but it's like literally the same thing where you're going into a dungeon. The whole like they start you off with this major quest, like you have to kill this one dragon or whatever on like level 54, and then you descend through all of these levels, like killing all these bosses, accepting quests to get better items in order to beat the ultimate boss. And then if you do beat that boss, you could do one of two things, to where you can continue to just keep slaying monsters with this one really powerful character and see how far you can get. Or you can retire the character, choose one item that you've had with this character, and choose to give it to a descendant for a even more difficult run, and essentially do the same thing all over again. And usually people would do that with like like necklace items or something that didn't like have a level requirement or something. But is that kind of like, and that's not like similar or anything, but like
I mean,
dungeon
that's pretty
games
much it.
and whatnot.
Yeah, that's probably it. But I am so bad at that kind of games. Like I love playing them. I am also playing Zelda Breath of the Wild right now.
Nice.
I have like 200 hours playing it already, but I just can't defeat Ganon. I'm not even close to defeat Ganon, like the main enemy. I don't know, spend my time just traveling, looking for stuff, just having fun.
What was the video game that got you into video games? Like I gotta say it was Mario 64 that got me. Mario 64 made me love video games. That was the very first game that I got up in the middle of the night, snuck into the other room to like play with the TV turned all the way down. That was the very first video game that I did that with.
When I was a kid, like 6-7 year old, we had one NES, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo Entertainment.
System. Yeah. And I used to play some Mario, but I didn't care that much. Like whenever my brothers or my cousins were playing, I was just outside playing some football with my friends. The first game that I just loved it was Pokemon Crystal.
Oh wait, really? The Johto region?
Yes.
That was the very first Pokemon game that I actually like played. Like seriously.
Oh, nice.
What started? What started? This is a very important question.
I mean, I won it like several times with every single one. My first one was, I think, Totodile.
Totodile? Okay, all right, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I went with Chikorita. Chikorita was my first.
Oh.
No, don't look at me like that. No, come on, there aren't that many good grass types. Like Meganium is a good grass type. Come on, man. I need some love behind this. Meganium, grass type.
I was so young that I didn't understand a lot of grass types and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you just wanted the alligator.
Whichever Pokemon was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, most people went for Cyndaquil for that reason, just because also fire type. Oh
Yeah, he
god.
was
So
so
do you
cute.
remember what your first team was? Oh god, I'm gonna have to remember what my original team was. Hold on a minute. I remember having
I,
Furret that had rollout, and my Furret killed Lance by himself. I was so proud of it. Rollout is so good.
I remember that my favorite Pokemon back then, and it still is my favorite Pokemon, is Ampharos.
Yeah, the electric type, the electric giraffe
Yeah,
thing, or
the
what is it?
last evolution
Giraffe, right?
from Marip.
Oh right, sheep. It's a sheep, not a giraffe.
The
I'm
sheep,
getting it
yeah.
confused with Giraffe for some reason.
I love that Pokemon. It has electric punch, and I just killed every single one of my opponents with that attack. I love it.
I would
Yeah.
catch the shiny Gyarados every single time because I actually loved Gyarados as a kid. I always loved like the
I-
beefy tanks. Like if I could get like dragons were also something that I loved. Like oh man, I wish I could I wish you could like see my camera, but like I have like my whole Yu-Gi-Oh, or like my not my whole Yu-Gi-Oh collection, but my impressive polls Yu-Gi-Oh collection's got a lot of different dragons, but yeah, like I would always try to make my team centered around like dragons if at all possible, but in the earlier games there just weren't that many to make that doable.
I just remember that the first time I played the game, I was stuck on the when you had to pour some water in Suawudo. Do you remember that?
Oh right, yeah, you
Like,
didn't know where to
yeah,
find the pail, where to get the water.
I was
Yeah.
stuck in that thing for like I don't know 6-7 hours.
So you're
That was
telling
not
me
so
that
smart.
Wendy's milk tank didn't give you any issues?
No, I think oh yeah, I remember that fight. Kind of like you just grind some levels and you end up winning.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's pretty much how
that's
it
it.
goes. That's how that
Yeah,
fight goes.
but
You get smacked, and then you go train.
I remember that. Oh, it took me so much time to kill the to be able to interact with the Suawudo that when the fight started, I murdered it in just one hit because all my Pokemons were already way ahead in levels.
I always took the challenge to try and catch every single Pokemon.
Yeah,
at
and
least
I
in the
couldn't
rare
catch it.
encounters.
Yeah, I couldn't catch Suawudo. And I felt so frustrated, like
Yeah.
a long time after that, when I realized that I should have captured that Suawudo there.
Oh, I think my
So
phone is
sad.
dead. But I actually have I have Crystal. I have Crystal version, the ROM on my phone, and there was one point where I actually had it beat 100% legitimately because there's a way to because like I also have gold and silver on my phone as well, and I can use them to trade to Crystal, like on one phone,
Oh.
since that's how the ROM works. It's really handy actually.
Nice.
And oh god, so here's another Hearthstone story, kind of.
Okay.
So the reason why that file doesn't exist anymore is because Quest Rogue is a thing, and I threw my phone against the wall one time, and I ended up losing that data. And I still have not completed the game all the way through. I've beaten the Elite Four. I have all the story done. I just haven't caught everything because I literally had to go into the original games, like Red and Blue, because you need to get Kabutops and Almastar somehow, and the only legitimate way to get him in those games is to trade him down through the line. I literally went through all of that effort,
Wow.
and Quest Rogue ruined it.
Just one Hearthstone thing, and we can move forward. I wish that they will revert the changes to the quest, the road quest, now that the Stone to Spore is no
Ooh.
longer going to have charge.
Actually, yeah. I mean, in
Yeah.
Wild though, there's still Deckhand. But I mean, if you only have 2 charge cards, it's not too terrible. But yeah, I think that's actually not that bad. Like, do you want them to be 5/5s or 4/4s, or do you just want like the Sonya nerf to be undone?
Yes, that too. But I don't. I mean, it feels like the power level in Wild is so big that quest row being a thing again would be okay, I guess. But
Yeah, kill
anyway,
Secret Mage, but yeah, we'll
yeah.
move on.
Going back to the important thing,
Go back to
I
Pokemon.
love play. Yeah, yeah, yes. I played a lot of Pokemon Emerald. I think it was the third generation, the one from with Rayquaza.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
one.
I had like 40 Pokemons with level 100. Like the first one was Flygon, I think, and Gardevoir. I just
The
couldn't stop
OGs in that
grinding that
season.
game. Yeah.
I actually knew how to do the glitch where you could clone Pokemon, and I had like an entire box full of Kyogres, full of Groudons, and full of Rayquazas. Like, dude, I was the kid that was handing out Pokemon like candy on the playground. I
Wow.
was that guy that you traded with, man.
I always played on my emulators. That's it's called.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on the computer. Yeah, yeah. I bought a Nintendo Switch like 4 months ago, and
I've
that
yet
was
to get
the
one.
first time I ever had one hand. How's it called?
A handheld
Like,
device, yeah, handheld game,
yeah, yeah.
game console.
Yeah.
I've got my
I love
DS
it.
in the other room. I
Oh,
haven't
nice.
played that thing in years. The only game I really played on there was the Pokemon games. The Sinnoh games were the last Pokemon games I massively played, and that and Kingdom Hearts 365 Days Over 2. That is actually one of my favorite games on that system.
One game I always wanted to play on the 3DS is Golden Sun 3. Like I played the first two games on the
That's Gen
GBA
5,
emulator.
right? Gen 5 or Gen 6?
Nintendo 3DS, I guess.
Oh, no, I'm saying Sun, like you're talking about Sun and Moon, right, in Pokemon?
No, I'm talking about the game called Golden Sun.
Oh, Golden Sun. Okay.
Yes.
I've actually never heard of that before. Let me look that up real quick.
Oh, yeah. You should play it. Like it's one of the best games I ever played. It's an RPG. Like, you should play it.
Okay.
Like, it was one of the first games that I loved that I tried to get 100% because it was awesome.
Okay, so it kind of looks like like similar to like Final Fantasy games where like you go through like defeating characters, solving puzzles, and completing missions.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
You also have a turn-based combat.
Okay, yeah, so it's
which
very
I love.
similar to Final Fantasy then. I played a lot of the Final Fantasy games actually when I was younger. Did you ever play any of those games?
No, sorry. Like I know that they are pretty similar to Golden Sun, but I was just a Golden Sun fan.
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't play any other game.
Okay, so you've seen Final Fantasy being played then. So how does this game differ from that franchise in terms of like gameplay?
That's such a hard question. Like one thing that I love from this game is that you have some powers that you could use during the fight, but you could also use them while walking. Like they allow you to reach some places that you couldn't before. Something like the MOs, is it called, on Pokemon, like surf and cuts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the TMs or the HMs.
Yeah, HMs, yeah, but way more complicated. Like you had to play with your weapons and your stuff, yeah, like to trade it between your own characters to make them unlock some special skills.
Okay.
It was awesome. Like they never tell you what you had to do in order to get those spells, but once you figure it out, you can reach some places that you play it. Please play it.
I'm actually looking up on the Wikipedia right now, just having some explanations of it. Yeah, and it looks very similar to how old Final Fantasy used to be. I think this game actually goes a little bit further, kind of like what you said with like HMs, to where like you can kind of like interact with the environment, right? Where like you like cut the
Yeah,
grass or like like push rocks and that kind of stuff. It's
yeah,
a little bit more
like making
ingenuitive that
an
way. Final Fantasy has like you could travel in different ways. Like there's like an airship, for example. That's how you get to islands that you can't like reach because they don't connect to each other. But other than that, like it's just pretty straightforward. I mean, at least in the beginning, it's pretty straightforward.
yeah, it's kind of similar, I guess. But I mean, it was the first time I ever played an RPG game, so that made it special for me, I guess.
Yeah, have you played any other RPG games? I'm assuming you
um,
played World of Warcraft because you were talking about it earlier, right? Or is that a wrong assumption?
no, I used to play Warcraft 3, but when I was younger, I couldn't afford to pay World of Warcraft, so I never played that game.
Yeah, I never got into it just because of the amount of time I feel like it takes to really begin to enjoy the game. Like you can enjoy the game at the beginning, but like there's like always like there's the real game that you have to get to after you have all the items and you have like all of the abilities that you need in order to really unlock your character's potential. Like it's kind of like whenever you play like any game that has like a skill tree, like you have to be able to play it for a little bit before you start doing the cool stuff, like the reason why you got the game. Like Borderlands is a great example of that, and but like I actually love Borderlands as a video games franchise.
Um, I don't play World of Warcraft, but I love watching videos about all the lore. I mean, all the story of Warcraft. Like I watch a lot of videos from Belular Gaming. Do you know him?
Belluar Gaming?
Well,
I
it's
don't think so.
yeah. Well, he just talks about everything that's going on, and he explains to you why Sylvanas is doing her stuff, and what are the I don't know, everything lore related. I love it. Like I know a lot of stuff about the Warcraft world, but not because I played it, but because I just watch every single one of his videos.
Yeah, my friend
Like,
actually knows a lot about Warcraft because of like some similar stuff, and like he's actually taken a step to learn the game a little bit more because of the Hearthstone interaction. So he wants to know like why these characters interact with certain ways. Like I for the longest time didn't know that Arthas was the Lich King because I did look this stuff up, and until my friend told me, like I was completely stupid about it. But I still think that Arthas is the
wait,
best paladin skin.
you never played Warcraft 3?
No, I have not played any of the Warcraft games.
StarCraft, maybe?
Nope. I mean, I've played
No?
Hearthstone and Overwatch. Those are the only Blizzard games that I've played.
No RTS games at all? Like the ones
Um.
that you have to make your own Age of Empires or something like that?
I mean, I wait. So you said RPGs?
RTS,
Oh, RTSs.
real time strategies.
I really
Like
didn't. I really didn't play too many of those kind of games. Honestly, when I was a kid.
oh,
When I was a kid, I played. Oh God, hold on a minute. Plug-in Ataris were actually something that I did a lot. There's this one Dragon Ball Z plug-in Atari that I had. It was like there's this pinball, this like arcade style fighting. And it wasn't until my mom actually won a PS2 giveaway to where we actually had like a real console in the house. And then that's when I
nice.
started getting like the game like the gaming consoles like the Game Boy, the DS and all that other stuff. But
That's
usually
cool.
gaming was not really a thing for me unless I was hanging out with either a friend that had the consoles or my dad's best friend actually like not like I know that I said that Mario 64 was the game that got me into gaming, but the very first exposure I think I remembered to video games like outside of just like the typical like oh look at this kid playing a game kind of thing was like Smash Brothers, like original Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube. That was like the very
Nice.
first game that I got to play, and it was like, whoa, what is this? This is pretty amazing.
I remember that I had a Sega when I was younger, but I mean, my brothers have a Sega,
So you played like
and
the
I
Sonic
sometimes
games?
was Yeah. They allowed me to play it with them because they were 5 years older than me. And yeah, I played a lot of Sonic, and there was a Tiny Toons game that I used to love. I mean, not Bugs Bunny and the all those characters, but the younger version of them.
Not
And
the
I
Looney
used to
Tunes.
love that. Yeah, the Tiny Toons. And I also played some Mortal Kombat, but I was not good at any of
Dude,
those games.
I actually played Mortal Kombat 2 back in the day. Oh god, I was so bad at it, but I love Scorpion. Like I will straight up be one of those Mortal Kombat guys. I love Scorpion. Like I was terrible
Um,
at putting in the inputs, but I loved Mortal Kombat Chess. I forget what game had that, but that was like the best experience that I had with it.
which one?
I forget which one it was. It was like, oh god, on like the Xbox. But like there was this mini game that you had where like you had Mortal Kombat characters as like chess pieces, and depending on like if you had like Scorpion as like your pawn or like Kano as your like freaking like knights or whatever, they would have like better stats. So like you would
Oh,
have like a half HP Scorpion go up against like a knight or whatever, and your freaking pawn could beat that knight. So it was actually come down to not only the strategy of doing the puzzle game, but actually beating the other person. So it's just funny to just like unload your pawns onto your opponent, and then just suddenly they can't stop you because they're an inferior gamer.
that sounds fun. I've never heard about that, honestly.
I wish I could
Um,
remember which Mortal Kombat that was, but I remember that specifically. Like, what do you remember which one that you played?
I used to play Mortal Kombat Ultimate for the Sega. My favorite character was Sub-Zero, maybe something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
ice guy.
Like there was Sub-Zero Ninja and the not regular Sub-Zero. I always wanted to play the regular one because I love just freezing my opponents and making them wait until I decide to hit them so they unfreeze.
In I think it's Mortal Kombat 9. I think they have like Cyber Sub-Zero, where it's a robot
Oh,
version of him.
never saw that one.
Yeah,
I
I
remember.
remember playing the story mode in that, and robots had something to do with it. Like they were turning people in their clan into robots because that's what they wanted to do. I don't remember why. It was very very weird, but it was like a weird moral thing between the clan, but between people in their clan, and it was like, why would you do this? You can't abandon humanity, that kind of thing. It was like, dude, I want to see people pulling out hearts. What's going on here? when did like this? It took like an anime turn. I don't know, man. Like it seemed very out of place for a Mortal Kombat game.
I mean, they have some characters that are not human at all, so
I mean, that's fair. I
it
mean,
kind of
demons
makes
are
sense.
one thing, robots are another. Because like when you have like Jax who has like the robot arms, that's like that's one thing. But when you have like one person go from like human to robot because of like some kind of like family history, I don't know. It's weird. I'd rather just see like the Kumite tournament and like all the lore with oh god, what's the main bad guy's name? I can't remember him for the life
Uh,
of me.
I don't remember. Kano? No, it was not Kano.
Oh god.
I don't remember.
I
I
this is
mean,
killing me actually.
but
Hold on a minute. Oh
wait.
god.
I mean, if you could have a bionic arm like Jax, wouldn't you do that? Like,
I mean,
would love
if
to
I had to
have.
lose my arms, no thank you.
I mean, if it doesn't hurt, like you feel no pain at all.
No pain at all? Okay, then yes. Then I
Yeah.
would totally like some Bionic Man stuff. Yes, I will totally do that.
I mean,
Shao Kahn, that's the guy. Shao Kahn, the main bad guy.
yeah. I remember him.
Thank you, Google.
I would have an entire body, like bionic body, I guess.
Okay, so you would do like
Robotic,
some
you know.
RoboCop stuff where you would just go full under.
Yeah,
We can make him better,
mean,
faster. We have the technology.
not every single part of my body if you know what I mean. Most of it, yeah, sure. I mean,
You only need the important
could-
parts to be human, right? Your brain,
Yes.
your heart, and your
my tongue, like
yeah. There you go. That's the third. Oh,
I
man.
couldn't taste Fernet otherwise.
Oh man, speaking of movies, now that I talked about RoboCop, is there any particular movies that you're a fan of, or like any like directors you're particularly fond of?
Uh, I feel quite ashamed of it, but when I was younger, I used to love Pirates of the Caribbean. Is it called?
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Wait, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
I don't know, but I love that movie. Like I remember that they I could see it on the TV every single night in one particular channel. I mean, not every night, but every Friday, I think.
Yeah, like a movie marathon or something.
Yeah, I always watched it, and like I was able to say every single phrase because I knew it perfectly, and yeah, I used to love it.
You're talking about like the
I don't know
whole
why.
series, right? Like or even just like
No, only the first.
only the first
movie.
one.
I didn't even watch the last one. I think. No.
Okay, I don't
I
even
don't-
remember all of them. I remember I watched. I think it was the one with Davy Jones in it. I never watched all of them in order because I didn't understand
Yeah.
it as a kid. It was very complicated. Like there was like political stuff in it like every now and again. It's like when you're a kid and you're watching the freaking Marvel movies and every single time they're blah 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 destruction, blah blah blah, it's your fault. They're like, whatever. Get back to the part where they're punching people already.
One thing I forgot to mention is that here in Argentina, one thing that is quite particular from us is that every single person in Argentina knows every single dialogue from The Simpsons. Like, yeah.
Okay,
I remember that
alright.
when I was a kid, I didn't understand a single joke, but I still watched it a lot because it
Dude,
was
same,
funny.
same.
That's like if you go to any Argentinian and you tell them a phrase in Spanish, of course, from The Simpsons, they will know how it goes.
Oh
Like,
wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's actually something that we could easily talk about is the Simpsons because I haven't really watched a lot of the recent Simpsons, but like when I was
Me
younger,
neither.
obviously it was on TV like every single weekday. It would literally be part of like my normal like schedule. I would like watch it with my mom and with my brother, and like it's kind of whack because like some people will be like, oh man, I haven't watched that many episodes of The Simpsons, but then when they literally pull any episode from like the first 15 seasons, they're like, oh my god, I know this in perfect detail. Like it's just it's one of those shows that just sticks with your brain because it was so unique back in the day, and then like it had like a really massive voice to be able to tell like a really good story. Like I loved The Simpsons back then.
What's your favorite episode?
Oh god, what's my
Do you have
favorite
it in
episode?
particular?
I've seen The Simpsons under a lot of different influences, so I'm gonna have to remember which one it was because there was one episode in particular. I'm not gonna say what I was under, but I'm just gonna say it was something illicit.
Okay.
But there was an episode where Marge was getting really, really buff, and for the entire episode, I thought she was just straight up just like killing people. Like it was.
Oh, I remember that she was.
Yeah, she was
strong,
working
like-
out.
Yeah.
And all like I don't remember what else happened in that episode because my memory does not serve me well from that incident. But regardless, like I just remember her just getting like really really buff, and then I also remember watching the oh god, it was the episode where I think it was with oh god, what's his face with Sideshow Bob. It was with Sideshow Bob. He was chasing Bart, and it was the episode where he gets sidetracked by like singing or something like that, and it was the most hysterical thing that I had
Yes.
seen. But yeah,
I
I would say
remember
that
that
one of my I'm a real big fan of the Treehouse of Horrors. I hate to say it, but that's just because I love Halloween. But yeah, one of my favorite episodes. Like this has just been a long-winded way for me to think of like an episode to actually say. But one of my favorite episodes just probably has to be
It has to be the episode with Maggie, like the one where he loses his job and then he has to come go groveling back to Mr. Burns. The do it for her episode, you know.
I cried so much the first.
I'm tearing up thinking about it right now. Like I'll tell you right now, dude. I get very teared up and very emotional during those kind of moments in cinematic. Like you can ask my girlfriend, dude. She okay. I'm trying to think of like a movie we watched where like I actually like cried. But I've teared up in a lot of different movies that we've watched.
I remember one episode from Futurama in which Fry's dog.
I knew you were gonna say that the moment you said Futurama.
Yeah.
Everybody, no, don't bring it up.
Yeah. No,
what a good show. Which one do you think is better, Futurama or The Simpsons?
The Simpsons, always. Yeah.
That's the right answer. Like Futurama has like its things that it does better than The Simpsons, in my opinion, but you can't argue the legacy that The Simpsons has. Although I do have to say, I don't like what they did with Apu's voice actor. I think it was very not the right call.
I don't know. Like, it's kind of a hard thing to say, I guess. Like,
the way that I see it,
sure about it,
it's very, very simple. Like, and this is just like how I see like making cartoons is that cartoons are literally their voice. Like, there's actually there's a video essay that I would highly suggest anybody to watch from Hot Diggy Demon called I think it's called the Apu That I Know, where literally he goes into I think that there's like a documentary that talks about like, you know, Apu and whatnot and how like some Indian descent, some Indian people had seen that character and had been compared to him, and he made like a lot of different arguments. Like it's a 45-minute video. It's very, very lengthy, and I think like as an avid Simpsons fan, he did a very good job at like explaining it from like a fan's perspective of like all you're really doing is letting people win, really, with these changes. But like essentially what I'm trying to say is that voices in cartoons, you can literally be whatever. It's like the only form of media to where it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you sound like these characters that are drawn out, it doesn't matter who you are. And that's just how I see cartooning, because I love voice acting, and I would hate for people to be limited on roles that they can do in voice acting just because, oh, I'm white, so that means I can't do an Asian character, or that means a black character can't do a freaking Chinese accent. Like it's just one of those, like, because people literally don't remember that there's a black voice behind Samurai Jack, and nobody says anything about that because it doesn't matter. It's just you're having a good time with the show, and it's just I've been on a tangent now, but like I just don't like people looking into things that don't really deserve that kind of credibility. But obviously there's the feelings that go behind it, which is more than I could like 100% understand. But I just really love voice acting as a career for people to enjoy.
I agree with the whole voice acting thing, but I think that maybe it doesn't matter to you, but it might matter to some other people.
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing that I can't beat because they're right. They're right at the end of the day, and there's nothing that I can really do to really. I don't want to say like delegitimize what they're saying, but like they have a very legitimate thing, and no matter what I say, it's not gonna trump that. Like their feelings are what matter at the end of the day.
I mean, I don't know if they are right or they are wrong, but
I would be on the fence of saying they're wrong. But we're debating here. It's okay.
Yeah, we're debating it, and I love the fact that no matter if they are right or wrong, they are still being heard. Like it's the one thing that I like about it is that they listen to the people.
Yes.
So that's quite important, I think. Like maybe you don't agree with their decision, but at least knowing that those people were heard, were listened to, I mean, that's a win for everyone, I guess.
I guess you could make an argument to saying like changing Apu's voice in The Simpsons was correct, but changing Cleveland's voice in Family Guy was probably not the right call, because who was arguing about being offended about the voice actor for Cleveland? Because most people probably don't even realize that it's a white voice actor behind Cleveland. And most people, when they figured out that the guy was stepping down, finally figured out that fact. And it's just like, there was really no like call to arms to have this removed. So it's just, I don't like the slippery slope that it creates. But obviously in those kind of situations to where it is creating maybe legitimate problems, you have to do what you have to do. But you shouldn't just get rid of characters just cause. And that's like one example I would say that I wouldn't agree with 100%, because there was no reason to change Cleveland, in my opinion. If do you watch Family Guy? Actually, I probably should have led with that.
No, I never saw Cleveland. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Like,
he was one of Peter's friends. So like what other TV shows are you into aside from The Simpsons?
I love Avatar.
Yeah,
Avatar,
you were telling me about that
Legend of
earlier,
Aang,
actually.
The Last Airbender and Avatar Korra. I love that. It's like my favorite cartoon, let's say. Like, I love it. Like, it has so many characters that you can empathize with. Like, you have everything from one child that's going around in a wheelchair to some people that didn't have any special power and still were able to do some magic stuff only because of their will and their own strength. I love it. Like, it has everything.
I haven't watched much of it, but I did watch an episode. I really don't remember much about it, but I just remember I think it's Toph, the blind girl, the
Yes.
Earthbender. She's 100% my favorite. She's my favorite character just because of how confident she is, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm blind, but it doesn't matter. I'm still here."
Yeah, and one thing that it's quite important that maybe we don't notice that much right now, but back then, having a girl that is that strong is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
there were not so many female characters as badass as stuff is. I love it. Yeah. It's like, oh, I love it. I have my dog right here. He's named Boomy after Ang's best friend, which was also named that. I was between naming my dog Boomy and Ginora, which is the granddaughter of Abatrang. That much I love the series.
Why did you choose Boomy over? What was the other one again?
Ginora.
Okay.
That's why. Like, Boomy, it's
Yeah, literally
said.
that. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Literally, so
yeah.
you don't have to keep explaining it to people. I'm like, Boomy does sound more like a dog's name anyway. Dogs respond a lot easier to easier names regardless.
Yeah.
Just like for example, Xena, my dog. She, like, if you just say "nah," she will immediately think that you're talking to her. Every now and again, if you say "z," she'll also just look at you like, "Oh, I love my dog," but she's currently cuddling with Libby in the other room right now.
Well, my dog still doesn't know or doesn't want to know that it's named Boomy because he just doesn't care about what I say. He keeps doing his own stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's a little dachshund,
maybe
right?
one day. Huh?
He's a little dachshund, right? I think I got to look at him earlier. But what kind of dog is he?
In Argentina, it's called salchicha, which would be something like hot dog.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Let me show it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love-
there he is. Look at how cute he is.
Yes.
He's probably not gonna get much bigger, right? So he's always just gonna be like a lap dog.
I mean, right now he's only 2 months old. He was born the 31st of December, but he's supposed to grow this much, I guess.
Okay, yeah, pretty healthy size. I've got my dog is Australian Shepherd, Red Heeler Hound, and Rottweiler. So she's got she's got the muscle of the Rottweiler and like the bark of like a really big dog, but she's pretty small dog, honestly. She's got the cuddly
Nice.
nature of the healer, and she's got the energy of a freaking shepherd. And good lord,
On the wrong day, my dog just runs around the house just because nature calls. No other way to
I'm
explain it.
Yeah, my dog is just a baby. He's literally just 2 months old, but when he grows up, he's not supposed to be so energetic. Like, I just can't wait to be able to walk him through the park, but I know that 1 hour doing that and then he's going to sleep the whole day. And that's okay for me. Like, I work from home, like I'm playing Hearthstone the whole day. I don't know if that's it's okay to call it work, but anyway.
If you make money off of it, then it's work, man.
True,
Like,
true. Yeah, so knowing that he's going to sleep most of the day and he's going to allow me to play some Hearthstone, it's a perfect dog for me.
yeah, I have to do the best I can to take my dog outside because she's a shepherd. She needs to like run out, and she's a herder dog, so she doesn't like just laying around and doing nothing. Like, she needs things to keep her attention attention span going. And eventually, I'll be moving out of this place, hopefully in the next couple of months. And I'll be getting like a fenced-in backyard, so like I can just like have a
Nice.
doggy door, and she could just like walk in and out and just do whatever she wants and just
Aw.
have the free reign, because she's one of those dogs that behaves when she wants to. And you like, she knows words, okay? Like, I know like a lot of people say that dogs really don't understand words, but if I play with my dog enough and then I tell her to go potty, she will literally do it that second that I tell her. But if I'm not throwing the stick around and she knows that like as soon as she uses the restroom or going back inside, she will literally wait for me to throw the stick around a whole bunch of times, because she knows as soon as she uses the restroom, we're going inside because it's cold outdoors. Like, my dog is like really, really smart, and I feel like she literally looks into my soul sometimes, and like, obviously I'm a little bit reaching with that, but my dog really does pick up on a lot of things, and like I say specific words and she picks up on it. It's pretty astounding.
I used to follow a Facebook page called I Fucking Love Science, which has a lot of papers about everything from nature to, I don't know, something about physics or astronomy, stuff like that. I once read one paper about how dogs are able to learn up to 200 words. Some
Okay.
dogs. 200 words is a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
especially when you like, cause I only do like 1-2 word commands,
so
like
smart.
sit here, and you can just tell them, sit, stay. I don't teach them roll over. My dog knows shake. She doesn't know like fetch, but I throw something and she brings it back to me, so that's pretty much fetch. She knows drop.
Nice.
She needs to know drop. She's destroyed some of my childhood mementos, so yeah, I needed to teach her drop because there's been a lot of chewing of things.
Stop eating my shoes.
She gets into trash. That's my dog's biggest problem is when I leave the house to like go to like the grocery store or something like that. I'll come back and find my trash bags have been completely like ripped apart. And it's like, why dog? Why would you do this? There's nothing of value in there.
Fortunately, so far my dog only likes to eat my shoes. So
Yeah, that's pretty common for puppies.
my couch is still safe so far.
Wait, your coat?
I
Oh,
know.
your couch?
Yeah, my couch. Sorry. But I'm so scared. Like, I think like one day I will arrive home and I will see my dog all over my couch. No.
Yeah,
It
one
just-
of the
it
one
can
of the,
happen.
one of the things you kind of have to do with puppies at least is you gotta like limit what they can actually touch, because you gotta be able to train them to be like, all right, these are the things that you touch, these are the things that you can chew on and sink your teeth into. This other stuff, no, don't touch that. It's like it's kind of like potty training your dog, except it's always something you're gonna have to worry about versus like, oh, okay, they peed once, at least I don't have to worry about it for so long. But a dog always has to keep his attention span going, and
For some reason, my dog, I can make it poop outside. Like, he stays outside for hours, but he doesn't poop. He only does it on this floor. Like,
Have you stuck his face in it? Like that's what most people say. It's like you're supposed to put your dog's face in like the carpet where they did it. They'd be like, nope, you're not supposed to do it here, because then they're supposed
that's
to remember.
so mean.
It's
No.
you're not supposed to like like smother their face in it, but you're at least like supposed to like put their nose nearby where it is, so that way, because like they're always smelling right before they actually do it, because then when they smell that spot, it's like, oh wait, not supposed to do it here. But then it takes a minute, because then they'll just go into the other room and then do it in that location. So if you do it every single time, they'll realize, oh, not supposed to do it in the house. But that might be a little bit of a like an older approach, and I should probably brush up on some stuff. But, I mean, it worked for Xena, so I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. I'd rather be patient and wait until he grows older.
Well, yeah, of course. He's a little bit young for that.
he's my own my baby.
Exactly. You gotta spoil them and let them know that they're loved. I still spoil my dog more than anything. Whenever I make food, I usually give a little bit to my dog. I can't say no to her.
I don't want to let him sleep on my bed, but I just can't help it.
My girlfriend literally told me at the very beginning that I said no to having the animal sleeping on the bed, and Xena sleeps on the bed every single night now. Like you're gonna cave in.
No, yeah, I know it's going to happen, but I try to think somehow it's not going to happen.
I'll already tell you, man. I've cleaned my mattress a few times. Just be wary if you do it, because who knows? Maybe in the middle of the night you might roll over, and you won't be happy. Like, dude, like puppies are hard, man. Like they're literal babies. Like you have to.
Yeah, it's a baby. I got him on Thursday, like 4 days ago. The first 3 days, I couldn't even go to the toilet without having him crying.
Exactly. It's like you've gone away.
Yeah, it was.
Dogs don't understand the concept of other rooms. They only understand what's in front of them when they're that young. When you close the door on them, you quite literally disappear.
Yeah, I mean, he's so cute. I love him. I don't know.
Have you always loved animals, out of curiosity?
I used to have one dog from this same kind, I guess. When I was like 10 years old, but then from 16 to right now, I didn't have any single dog. So because my parents didn't want to, and I moved out of my parents' house 2 months ago because I wanted to have a dog.
Yeah, it's actually one of the main reasons why I moved out too, was so I could have a dog. Like, I was also moving out for college at the time, and I kind of regret where I went for college, but I don't regret the experiences that I learned, because you got to have bad roommates in order to understand why living on your own is so crucial.
I never had any roommates. Like, I always lived with my parents. This is the first time I'm living on my own, and it's so hard.
I treasure it, man. It's
it.
difficult. Like, the whole appeal of having roommates is that it makes it easier financially, but emotionally you have to deal with all their crap. And like I've lived with strangers and I've lived with friends before, and both situations kind of ended like not necessarily bad, but they didn't end on like the greatest terms. And living with a roommate, man, like it's difficult because again you have to deal with their crap every now and again, and humans, they have good days and bad days.
Yeah, I mean, I moved to a house, a pretty big house, but I am on my own. And some friends asked me if they could move in with me. And I said no, of course, but not because I feel like they would bother me, but because I know that I would bother them. Like, I'm
fair.
not an easy person to.
Would you say that? Okay, well,
No,
you just literally
I mean,
said you're not an easy person. So, like, would you feel like you'd be hard to live with?
Yes, I mean, I don't want to live with myself. Like,
all right, well,
no,
go
no.
through some examples. What's like, what? Do you not do dishes or something? That's my problem.
No, I'm clean. Like I always have everything clean. I try to keep every single stuff in their own place. Maybe some people don't like that. Like if I see some dishes not like they didn't do dishes after they eat, I might start crying or just shouting at them. And yeah. I mean, and I want to keep my friendships, so that's why I don't let them live here. Like, I have a lot of friends coming to my house every single day almost, but I mean, they can come to my house. My door is always open to them, but it's also open so they can leave a few hours after that.
Yeah,
I need to have my own space.
I have a friend that that comes by every now and again, and like I actually had my brother live here for a long time. He just recently moved out. But he helped me with bills. He was making more money than me at the time, so he actually helped me out more than anything. So like, I mean, living with your sibling is different, but it was the first time that we had actually lived together since we had both like went our own direction for college and whatnot. So it was kind of fun to like have that. So like, having a roommate just depends on, you know, who you're with and whatnot, because if you're with like a sibling or something that doesn't drive you crazy, then that can go pretty well. And I'm actually trying to like move in with my girlfriend at the moment, but that's a process we're slowly working towards at the moment.
I mean, I know that I am a good friend to go on a journey with, like to travel on holidays or something like that. Like I went with some friends for like 10 days or even a month to another place on holidays. I am quite chill there. Like um, I don't shout for everything when we are on holidays, but living every single day with someone else, no, I don't think I'm able to. I'm not capable.
Yeah, like
that,
I've got a lot of different roommate stories that I could tell you, but like varying from really good to really bad. Like, if you want to feel free to say like if you want to hear like the really bad ones or the really good ones, but God, you've had
one of each maybe.
One of them actually ties into the Hearthstone scene.
One of each.
There was okay, so I'll give you the really bad one. There was one really bad one that happened when I was living with roommates that I didn't know very. Like I literally, so I guess some background information. I met these guys through someone that I had a class with, or like it was a friend of a friend that I met their friends, and I met them once, and I was like, all right, screw it. I guess I can live with you guys for a year. So that was the first mistake. That was the very first mistake on all of our parts. So now that that's out of the way, while we were living together, they slowly realized that I was trying to do this competitive Hearthstone thing, and that was right when Dreamhacks were, or at least when I started getting into Dreamhack, so I had to like go out of town and whatnot. So it was actually Denver. It was Dreamhack Denver, the one where MGT Kid had placed very well. During that tournament, I got a text message, not a phone call, a text message that my dog was lost because she was running around the yard, and I like an idiot said that they shouldn't use a leash, so I will go ahead and accept my responsibility for that. But they had a party, and they had a whole bunch of friends. They were drunk, and like there was one other dog running around, so they were clearly not watching her. And my dog is black, okay? So like this is my dog is black and has like a little bit of like white on her face and like on her chest and whatnot. So if you're not paying attention to this dog at night, you're gonna easily lose sight of her. So they literally lost her. I called them, like I tried to call them, they didn't answer. So I texted in the group chat, I'm gonna say this as nicely as possible. You better find my fucking dog. And so I literally called every single person that I could, because I was in Colorado. I was literally in a different state. There was nothing that I could do, and like there was nothing in my power that I could have done to try and physically find my dog. So I was calling every single person. I think Cora made eye contact with me when I was making all these phone calls, and she knew that something was up because she kind of like walked away like knowing like something was like going on because I was freaking the fuck out. And luckily I had a friend, typical tyrant, who was there. And luckily we were in Colorado, so legal weed, we were able to smoke it up. I was like, bro, they better find that fucking dog. Otherwise, I'm going to come back and someone's going to die, and it ain't going to be me. But luckily, they found the dog the next day or the day after because somebody, like some friend of theirs, had noticed the dog walking around, grabbed her, and immediately took her back. I have to give a huge shout out to my friend Ben, who also leaded a whole bunch of people around the neighborhood to try and find her. Just, oh my God, that was, the fact that I was in another state, the fact that I was literally in another state was grounds for me to break my fucking lease. Oh my God, that's the bad one though. That's the bad one.
The good one?
Okay, the good one is, I actually got to play a lot. Like, I actually roomed with a good childhood friend of mine. Her name is Indy. Really good childhood friend that I literally I grew up pretty much I've known this kid ever since they were born. Like, we've literally been that close. And living with her for the first time, like, I did have its challenges. But it was just fun to be able to just like come back to literally a house full of friends after like a stressful job, because I was working at Papa John's as a pizza delivery driver back then. It was not the greatest job. It paid like shit, and I literally had to just drive a whole bunch of places and just killed time essentially. But my favorite part about it was coming back home and playing Kingdom Hearts and playing Yu-Gi-Oh with my friends, because those are things that have always been in my life ever since I was a kid. And ever since I went to like high school and stuff like that, I really just didn't get to connect with those people, and like I kind of disconnected from those hobbies. So it was like a cathartic like come back to home almost. And I also really heavily got into Spider-Man that year. That was right when the Spider-Man on PS4 came out, and oh my God, that was like one of the only recent games that I've played, and I would highly recommend it to anybody that loves the Spider-Man universe, because good Lord. I'm going to just go ahead and just say the donkey meme. It really makes you feel like Spider-Man. Like, it's a really good game.
Cool.
But yeah.
Nice.
Having a roommate, it can have its ups and downs. That's pretty much all I can say. Sometimes they can lose your fucking dog, but other times you can sometimes reminisce and, touch base with like old friends.
Yeah, have the best time of your lives.
Yeah, it just depends. Like
nice.
we actually had a Halloween party that year too, so we did some fun stuff.
What did you wear in that Halloween party?
Oh God!
Like, did you dress up or something?
Yeah, okay. So I tried to spray paint my hair because I was trying to do Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts. Like, dude, I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I actually used to have like a replica Keyblade, but I gave it to my sister, my little sister, because I forgot a birthday present. Don't judge me. But yeah, I went as Xemnas because I have like this bad replication organization hood, and essentially what they do is like a black trench coat with like a hood and that kind of stuff. But the spray paint absolutely did not work, and if anything, it made me loopy the entire night. Because, good Lord, I felt like I was like, I literally felt like I was high, and I didn't smoke. I mean, I was drinking that night, but I didn't feel like stoned off of whatever I was consuming or anything like that. I was like, I don't remember most of that night, honestly. Like,
yeah, just
don't inhale spray hairspray or whatever it is.
I only dress up a few times. I once went to a party as Fred Flintstone. Do you know
Okay.
him?
Yeah, the Flintstones.
Yeah. It was so comfortable. Like, I was just wearing one dress. That was it. I was with nothing on my feet, so just walking like that to a party. I loved it.
I would love to go.
I used to dress a lot like a clown.
I would love to go as like Spider-Man, like in like a legitimate Spider-Man outfit. Like I used to have this Deadpool. Oh god, like not a onesie, but like a freaking like a morph suit, like a Deadpool morph suit. And I thought it was like one of those like padded ones, but it was like just one of the plastic ones, and like it barely fit me, unfortunately. Like it was very very tight. And I would just love to be able to just like have like a legitimate spider suit and like have like be very flexible in it to where I can move very freely. But I don't know, man. Those things are expensive, man.
Nice.
Like cosplaying and stuff like that, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. When you were talking about Dreamhack, I remembered about the only time I tried to go to a Dreamhack. That was one of the worst experiences in my life.
Wait,
Like,
wasn't it something about like you trying to like fly there or something and having like issues getting there? I think I actually remember this.
Yes, it was something like that. It was announced that they were going to make a DreamHack in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which is like 5 hours travel on a plane
Okay.
from where I live. So I wanted to go, of course, because it was a DreamHack. It was something that only happens in Europe and North America. And it was announced that there was going to be a Hearthstone tournament. Well, time went by. Exactly the day after I decided to buy the ticket, and I did buy the ticket, they sent they made a Twitter announcement that there was not going to be a Hearthstone tournament in that DreamHack.
Oh.
I was so sad. Like,
no.
that was so bad. Like, it was going to be the first time I ever played in a big tournament outside my country.
Did they at least have a side tournament?
Literally the day after. Nope, nothing.
Wow.
Like, literally the day after I bought my plane ticket. And the worst thing is that I was going to go to that tournament with a friend, with Ronnie, that I think he's sometimes on your stream. Ronnie.
Yeah. He's also in the House Rivalry cast. Like, dude's really good with
Yes.
with Latin American casting.
Yeah. Well, he's a good friend of mine, and we were going to go together to that tournament. But I don't remember why, but he didn't buy the ticket at the same time as I did, and he was going to buy it the following day. So we both woke up with the announcement that the tournament was not going to happen.
That sucks.
So, but I already had my ticket and he didn't. So
That
I
kind
had to
of
go to Brazil just to have fun on my own, and I didn't even go to the DreamHack because the tournament was not going to happen. So I had nothing to do there because I didn't play CS:GO or stuff like that.
I mean, did you at
so
least have fun at the? I mean, because DreamHack is more than just the tournaments that are there. It's like a gaming convention and stuff like that for people who aren't aware. But did you at least go and like have a good time and like check out the events and whatnot? Because
No, because the event was going to be about Counter-Strike, I think League of Legends, and
Okay.
Dota.
also
nothing
a
else.
5-hour drive on top of that.
And
Probably didn't want to do that either.
on a plane, not drive.
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it was way more expensive than that.
Jeez,
Like,
man.
I already had my tickets, so I went to Brazil. Like, I spent 4 days just on the beach, sleeping on the beach. I mean, it was a great holiday for me. Like, I had a great time, but I didn't want to go to Brazil just to sleep on the beach.
Yeah.
I wanted to be on the DreamHack, but, well, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And at least I was able to go to Texas to compete on the Master Tour, because otherwise I would have never went to any big tournament. Knowing my luck, the second they announced that LAN tournaments are a thing again, I will drop out of GM and stop playing Hearthstone. and I'm never going to make it to another big tournament again. I swear it. I'm certain that that's going to happen.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see one of these days. Oh god, but actually,
I could have went to so many places last year, like to all around the world, and it didn't happen because of, you know why?
yeah.
It feels like the second they announced that big tournaments are happening again on certain places around the world, I will not qualify to a single tournament anymore.
Oh my god. No, man, you're good. Don't worry about it. Like I'm pretty confident in your abilities. Like all you need now is just this next season of GM to go unspokenly amazingly well. So then that way you'll have so much money in the bank to where it doesn't matter where the next Master Tour is, or the next LAN tournament's going to be. You're going to be able to probably even get an invite to that thing nonetheless. But I have nothing but full confidence in you.
I don't. But we will see. I hope so.
You know, that actually kind of reminds me of a story. Like I love like talking about like stuff like this because Hearthstone just naturally comes up because it's like I have so many interesting stories that are not necessarily about the game. Like literally, I had a friend who got stopped at Canadian Customs on his way through to try and go to DreamHack Montreal, and actually was worried about whether or not he was gonna miss tournament registration. Like
Nice.
That whole story is like kind of whack, and like the main reason why is because apparently he I'm not gonna spread his dirty laundry, but he did like a really like small crime in Canada. Like he shoplifted technically.
Oh.
And it's a very 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 minor offense, but like he was literally reaching the end of like that sentence or whatever, of like that period to where he would be allowed back into Canada, because he was literally like not allowed to enter Canada for literally stealing something. Like I don't know the full context of the story, and again I don't want to air his dirty laundry out, but regardless he's completely rectified of what he did back then. He's completely said all the time that he used to be a stupid kid, but he literally got stopped at Canadian Customs, had to call his dad in order to to get contact with his lawyer to figure out what was going on, because he was literally just trying to get in through to go to DreamHack, and they didn't believe him. They straight up didn't believe him that he was trying to go to like a gaming convention. Like this guy was stuck for like I think 3 hours at Customs before eventually he was allowed to clear through, and literally made it 10 minutes before the tournament started.
Wow. I mean, at least he made it. So
yeah, and actually,
just a good story to tell.
yeah, that was my good friend Raz. He is actually he knows Lazemos as well. He was we weren't necessarily like a team in terms of like we were like on. I mean, Raz wasn't actually on the team. Lazemos and I were, but we like had practice together, and we had also had the same B&B. So we had all had hung out with each other, and yeah, like Raz and Lazemos really made that really made that tournament and experience like so much better, and also just being able to meet my Canadian friends the first time, that was pretty nice, and like in their own country nonetheless. Like Canada is like the U.S. but slightly different, but I would say it's only like the good stuff. Like everyone just seems so nice.
I'm not going to talk. The one thing I regret about my travel to Texas to that tournament is the fact that I only talked to other Argentinian players and maybe some other players from LATAM. Yeah, it was so sad because I didn't meet many players from other countries before all the Grandmaster thing happened, but I would have loved to spend some time talking to some of my new friends. Let's say,
man.
Like one person I know that I will eventually meet him one day is Pasca.
Like, oh yeah. Pasca's an absolute baller on updating people on Twitter. Like, you know, I will probably put his information. Like, everyone that we talk about, I'm probably gonna put their information in the description below. editing through this is, I mean,
Yeah, I
editing through the
hope
whole
that
thing's probably
one
not
day
gonna
I'm
be that
going to
bad.
meet him.
But regardless, I want to give like the whole reason I want to do this is just give so many different people like a chance to be discovered through whatever ways. Even though it's probably easier for people to discover me through you than the other way around. But regardless, if someone can find
I mean,
find more content,
you have like you have like 3 times more followers than I on Twitter, so I don't think so.
But here's the thing, like my Twitter is kind of weird because I did like a follow for follow thing at the very beginning, so like I actually don't really know how many people really follow me.
That's cheating.
It was cheating back in the day, and I justified it by trying to like promote music because that was the main reason why I made my Twitter. And then suddenly I got into esports, and then it was a slippery slope to what's happened now. But yeah, like I originally did that and like got a whole bunch of like people trying to like I was trying to like sell like music albums and stuff like that. And then suddenly I don't know, man. Like I just really like the Hearthstone Twitter scene because I've just made a whole bunch of memes, and I have to blame Darrock Brown for getting me addicted to making Hearthstone memes because he's the reason why I did it. I tried to like I tried to one up him essentially.
I once made one joke that I am extremely proud of, which was the one with the 2 tweet longers. Like the tweet longer if I win the relegation match against Shazayan, and the tweet longer if I lose that match.
I do remember that, the 2 finals.
I'm so proud of it.
God, there were so many good memes.
The tweet I made when I make it to Grandmaster, where I say that this was the weirdest timeline of all.
Oh my God, the script with Saiyan.
So proud of that.
The script with Saiyan was just utterly ridiculous and just like it's NA KEKW. Sweet justice.
I love Monsanto's tweets.
Dude, okay, have you seen his YouTube content?
He's a comedic genius. I love it. The Hearthstone news. I love it. I love it.
It's so perfect.
It's so funny. Yes. When he tries to pretend that he's other people, like when he pretends to be in some and he says, I hate it to everything. I just couldn't stop laughing when I heard that.
Yeah, dude, like Monsanto's humor is exactly the kind of humor that I love when it's done perfectly. And like you look at Monsanto's expression and you know that he's just like dead serious about what he's talking about. And it's like, or at least he puts off the expression that he's dead serious about what he's talking about. That's what makes it so funny, is that he's able to say like these jokes so seriously, and it's just so dry and perfect. And like, oh God, I can't remember one in particular, but I think he said something about like how like nobody was watching like nobody had watched Yarla win like whatever, like 5 people that were tuned in. I forget the joke.
There was in one chapter of Hearthstone News, he pretended that he was not allowed to talk about Europe because some people from the French community were
I remember that.
Like I got gunpoint. He was like, Jarla won the region Texas or something like that. I remember. I started almost crying because of.
Oh God, it was the
so nice.
The drama,
Yeah,
like the very short drama between him and like Felkane, I think.
And the French community, I think.
Yeah.
Felkane, maybe.
Yeah, like something. I don't know. Someone went like, I don't think that nobody went like too far, but it was essentially just like a two tweet thing that went back and forth, and everyone was like going oh in the background or something like that, like on both sides.
Yeah, but
it was kind of funny to see the flames go up, but.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of fights that I like. Like no one.
Yeah,
was
that's
hurt,
healthy
like,
drama, I guess.
Everyone was just joking. Yeah. I love that. I mean, that was so nice. I liked it.
Oh man.
I know.
And speaking of jokes, we actually can
can use this time to go into some of the questions that are on the Twitter post that I made when I was announcing that you were going to be the first person on this. And like, and you were tagged in this, so you've seen some of these already. And some of these are actually come from Rene. It's Rene. How you pronounce that again? I'm sorry. Rane. Gotcha.
Rane.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so the first question is, can you comment on why you were called the Mall Terror? There's actually a picture that will accompany this.
Yes. Are you showing the picture right now?
I will put this on the screen so people will see what we're talking about.
When we went to, when I went to the Texas tournament with some friends, all the clothes, the shoes, and all that kind of stuff is so cheap in the United States. I was like, and the weirdest thing from North America that I saw was that the food was so expensive and the clothes were so cheap that it didn't make any sense. Like, I could buy, I don't know, 2 T-shirts at the price of 1 meal.
Yeah.
Like, one sandwich was worth more than my shoes.
You were in Texas,
didn't
right?
make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You're in Texas,
Like,
so there's a lot of like, I'm assuming that you were eating like what kind of food did you have?
I don't know, Subway and stuff like that. I don't remember. But I remember that the food was so expensive. And it didn't make any sense because the clothes were so cheap.
It's so easy to sell Americans meals.
Saved...
Like it's just like one of those things where, like, you know, you're just walking along the road and it's just like, God, I'm hungry. Oh, look at that, a cheeseburger for $5. I've got $5 in my pocket. Like, you don't even care about the price. You just care about getting that cheeseburger.
$5 is a lot.
Exactly. Like when you think about it, one meal for $5 is utterly ridiculous. Like, you can get so many like raw materials, like rice, tortillas, cheese, like you name it. Like, you can get so many things for $5, but the convenience of just having it like done for you is just it's, I mean, with obviously with how many locations there are in America, it's just like food is the easiest thing that you can sell to people in America because we're always hungry. We're always freaking hungry.
Yeah, but you also want to dress.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know. I mean,
oh my God,
it's so weird. Like, there was one day I said, okay, I'm not going to eat anything the whole day, and I'm just going to buy some clothes. That's when I took that picture because I was so hungry. I didn't eat anything the whole day. And I spent the same amount of money as all my friends, but they just wasted all that money on, I don't know, a sandwich.
Good Lord.
While I had like 5 new T-shirts. That's
too busy eating these great deals.
We went. I don't know. I mean, we went to that Vans outlet and I bought 2 pairs of shoes. And I spent like $20. And one of my friends spent that on just 1 beer and 1 hamburger. And I was like, dude.
If you go to the right place, man, that could even cost more than $20, man. Like, half of the time, like, it's not even like the food that you're paying for. It's like the convenience or like the ambiance of the place. Like, if you're going to like a bar or something like that, you're paying for the employees to be there, not for the actual food, you know?
Yeah, and it was not even good food, honestly. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
for that price, yeah, $20.
Paying like, I don't know, $9 for a beer.
Oh, alcohol is so charged
It didn't
up.
make any sense.
Like, literally, as a musician, I've
why?
been, because people will pay it. That's why. Like, you're at a place and you're telling me the only place that I can get beer is through you. All right, take my $9. I want a beer. That's literally how it goes.
Don't pay it.
Like,
that's not how it's supposed to work.
Like, it's actually really interesting because like I like one of the times that I went to Montreal, there was a guy that, like, literally the guy who owns the Meltdown, the bar that I was telling you about, where all of us gathered after the Dreamhack. The guy who owns that place is one of the most interesting people that I have ever met in my life. Like, literally ever. This dude was talking to me about Canadian and American politics, and I was glued to him. My attention was undivided. This guy was like, look, he's the best storyteller I have ever like met face to face. And he said a very, very interesting thing. It's just like, dude, Americans have like so much freaking money that like it doesn't really matter about a lot of your like conveniences and stuff, that like, because you're just wanting the thing immediately. You're not going to care about the price. And that was like very, very apparent with like how like our cost of living is, like, because he was essentially pointing out how Canada has to like he brought this up because Canada doesn't like shut off bills like electricity and like stuff like that, because people will literally die. And that was like, wow, I never could think that companies would do that during like certain months, because that doesn't happen in America. If you can't pay your electricity during the winter, your electricity goes out. That's how it is. Sorry, buddy, you didn't pay your bill. And that's just, it's just like kind of like, it's kind of just like interesting to see, just like, and that's part of the reason why I asked you like all those questions about Argentina earlier, is because finding those little differences is really interesting to me.
I don't know. I mean, for example, here in Argentina, the doctors and all the healthcare is for free, and also it's the education in some universities is also for free.
Wow, education's free. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the few places in the world where you have to put yourself in a huge debt in order to study is in the United States.
Yep.
Like, that doesn't happen everywhere else.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that we are the weird ones, but
100%. No, you're right on that
you.
one.
Sorry.
It's something that we're trying to
know,
change,
like,
or at least most of us are trying to change. Like, there's always like the problem that people bring up. It's like,
Sometimes.
oh, if you do it now, then what about the people that already did it? It's like, well, just because like it's kind of like
they're going to be happy about the people that are getting it now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, there's I'm just gonna use a disease because it's the first thing that comes up. Like, just because there's a disease that keeps killing people doesn't mean you just stop trying to treat the disease because it's already killed people. You gotta do something eventually. Like, you gotta band-aid the situation. Like, you can't just let something get out of control like that. Like, I don't know, man. But we kind of went off topic with like the questions that we were asking off the Twitter post.
Yeah, I'd rather not talk about politics.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own opinion. If you follow me on Twitter, you might know my opinion, but I'd rather not talk about that.
Yeah,
right
of
now.
course. Like, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. This is coming from Ulticon. This is actually from someone from my chat. Rice, noodles, or both KEKW? I'm assuming this is a joke.
I don't know. I think there's another question where one friend of mine asked me about rice with milk. That is something that I used to cook a lot.
Wait.
Have you ever tried that?
Rice with milk? Wait, what? Like cereal?
Yeah.
I
mean,
can't say I can't say I agree with that. I mean, I can cook up some rice and try it. I guess I can't knock it till I try it. But like, what kind of milk?
Instead of cooking it with water, just cook it with the milk.
Oh, you cook it with milk. Okay, that's different.
Yes.
So what does the milk do to the rice?
Pretty much it. Like, you have to spend a lot of time. I don't know how to call it. With the spoon, like shuffling. No.
Oh, you have to stir it.
Yeah. Like, you have to spend all the time while it's being cooked, stirring it. But it's so tasty. I love it. It's also about the experience of cooking it that I love. Like,
okay, so you love cooking.
When it's cold outside. I mean, I love cooking rice with milk because
okay.
all the steam that comes and the smell, I love it. When the tournament that I made it to the top 4 happened, it was going on during the night. No, it was not. But I was not being able to sleep the days before that, and it was so cold outside. Like, if you remember, I was playing that tournament with some how's it called, gloves on,
Yeah, I think I remember
like
that actually.
the things to cover your hands, because it was so cold, and I was I went like 4 a.m. To the kitchen and started cooking some rice with milk. Some of my friends were still awake. They were telling me, "Dude, go to sleep. You are not going to sleep anything, and you had to play in that tournament in like 3 hours." And I was like, "No, dude, I don't care. Whatever happens. I just go and sleep." Yeah. And I spent all night cooking rice with milk, and then somehow I overperformed by a lot during that tournament. Um, I I almost fell asleep in like 3 games from that tournament, and still somehow won. I don't know how.
There you go, man. What
But
meta
yeah,
was
I
that
remember
actually?
that.
Like, what were the decks that you were playing? Because were you playing easy decks that were just like, kind of like, I mean, yeah, obviously aggro decks you have to think a little bit, but like, were your decks like that complicated?
I was playing Token Druid with Isera and the Mount Seller.
Oh, okay.
I was playing, what else? Highlander Hunter, which was just like
Yeah,
curve out
that
and
was
go
before
face.
it was nerfed, probably. Yeah, 7 mana brand.
And Temple Demon Hunter, I think, which was my favorite deck right at that time. And I don't remember the last one. I think it was. Oh, it was Enraged Warrior.
Yeah, probably was
I
Warrior.
remember
Had to be
that.
like some kind of skipper Warrior, I was about to say.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. It was like 2 or 3 days before that Master Tour happened. I faced one friend on ladder, Ancient PWE, and he saw that I was making some seriously bad misplays with that warrior, and he said like, "Hey, why are you playing that bad?" or something like that. And I was like, "I don't know. I never played that deck before. I'm just trying to figure it out in just 3 days before the tournament happened." I was fortunate enough to see that deck getting banned every single round. Like, I think I only played once the warrior in the whole tournament, and I was so happy about that because I didn't have to play it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just the strategy to go for. Like, it's something that I would make the mistake. Usually, is I would bring a deck, assuming that my opponent usually is just gonna ban it, and then it doesn't get banned, and then I have to play it, and then it doesn't go very well because I don't know my outs very well. So sometimes it could work, sometimes it didn't. But luckily, it did for you there.
Yeah, I just played on the THL League, the Wild League from.
Oh
Team
yeah,
Hearth
yeah.
Legends.
I've played with them before actually.
And I'm playing the Wild League with Pasca and Memnarch and some other friends. This week I just sent one deck that I just made out of nothing. Some kind of Mind Blast Priest, the old one with the 9 mana card that summons a 1 mana copy,
yes.
1/1 copy of every minion from your deck.
Zarek's Cloning Gallery, yeah.
Unfortunately, my opponent, that card. My opponent decided to ban that deck because he never saw that before. I was so happy because I had no
Hook,
idea
line,
how
sinker.
that was going to work. So always try to play the scary deck so people ban it and you need to practice it. That's my advice for everyone watching now.
Yeah, and speaking of practicing Hearthstone, the next question is it true that you've been spending more time practicing Pingpong than Hearthstone these past few weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, we actually didn't talk about sports. Like,
right behind
are you really into
this window?
into ping pong and some other sports? Like, or is it just mainly really ping pong?
When I moved to my new house, my brother gifted me a ping pong table. But I used to play a lot when I went on holidays with my friends. Like you used to visit some friends from Cordoba, which is like another state, let's say, and they had a ping pong table, and we spent like weeks just playing ping pong. Now having my own is like I am all the time playing it, like a lot. But the thing is that with the whole moving out from my parents' house, I didn't have that much time to be on the computer during January. So I yeah, like I had a lot of friends coming and helping me with painting and stuff like that. And after that, we spent a lot of time playing ping pong because I couldn't just tell them, go, okay, you already helped me. I need nothing else from you. Just go out so I can play Hearthstone. No, I just couldn't do that. So I had to play ping pong with them and some other games.
Yeah, are there any other sports
But
that you're
yeah.
into? Like, did you ever get it? Actually, another question I had is, did you ever do anything more with ping pong, or did you just play that casually with your friends? Because I actually did some
No,
sports
I
leagues
mean,
when I was in high school.
when I was in high school, I used to play a lot of volleyball. I was
Okay.
quite good at it. Like, not good enough to compete or anything like that, but I was decent. Like, I was probably the best one from my school because no one else liked to play volleyball, pretty much. Like,
That was
on
me
my
with
school,
bowling.
we yeah, we had to choose between playing rugby, football, or volleyball. If you played football, you had soccer, let's say, you had to go to school on Saturdays morning to play against other teams from other schools. And I would never wake up early on a Saturday, so I didn't want to play football. And if you played rugby, you had to spend like half an hour, 3 times a week, just running on the outside with the sun just burning you, and that was not something I wanted to do. So most people that didn't want to exercise and didn't want to wake up early on Saturdays, they just say, "Okay, I don't care about sports. I just go to volleyball and do absolutely nothing."
Okay, so it was where
For
all
some
the
reason,
degenerates went.
kind of. The thing is that the girls from my school actually played very, very well volleyball because most of them were from a competitive team. So I spent most of my physical education classes just going to play with the girls some real volleyball instead of playing with my friends that just didn't want to move at all the whole class. So yeah, that's why I was the best one from my school. Not because I was good, but because all the other kids just didn't care enough to even try it. And I also play a lot. Well, not right now, but I used to play a lot of football. Um, I have some kind of a serious injury, let's say. So I'm not playing right now, but I hope I will be able to play again soon. But um, I have how's it called? The court? No, it's not a court. What is it called? Like the place where you play football.
The
It's
field.
right next to my house. Yeah, the field is right next to my house. I mean, my parents' house. So I used to play every single day almost, but
Yeah,
not
in
anymore for
and
now.
in high school, I didn't do that many sports, but I did marching band. Is that something that's ever
What is that?
Oh, okay, so marching band, essentially, what it is like, you know how like there's like parades and stuff like that, right? And like people that like march in formation, that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Oh, wait, that was like a sport?
It's not really okay, like it's loose definition on what you want to call it a sport. It's probably technically not a sport because you really can't like you can't really like objectively
I mean, like you can't score it in an unobjective way. So like the way that it's really competitive though is you can like have like these really elaborate shows, but like you cannot do this if you are not physically fit. Like you are like, especially depending on the instrument that you have, like your information, you are at attention, you are strict marching, like there's you want to have eight steps.
Awful.
Okay, like I'm using the not definitions. I'm saying that what we had to do, just like people understand, like it's not necessarily that difficult, but like everyone is working as a team. But like marching band was just like one of those things that was really really interesting for me back in the day, because I wanted to do something with music, but I didn't know what, and it was a way for me to be able to learn it. And then suddenly I realized, oh hey, I like doing, I like playing drums. So then suddenly I got into playing drum kit, and then it just, like marching band was where I got my love for music, and I did it all 4 years in high school. It had some of the best memories I've ever had from my high school experience through marching band, and I also went to Disney World because of it. So win.
What?
We marched in Disney World, dude.
How?
Yeah, we freaking
Nice.
the band went on a big trip every 2 years. I missed the Hawaii trip, unfortunately. But I went to Disney World one year. And we just did like this one little thing in the actual Disney parade. I don't know how they got those connections to make that happen, but it happened. But regardless, we were in Florida for I think 3 or 4 days. We did one parade, and then the rest of the weekend was us just having fun. Oh my god, it was great. We checked out Universal Studios. I got myself this Harry Potter wand actually from that experience. So this is my proof that I'm not BSing. But yeah, dude, like I have so many like just like little knickknacks and relics from just like things that I've done in my life, because I'm a collector. Like if these Yu-Gi-Oh cards weren't enough to prove of that, like I absolutely love collecting things.
I remember that when I was a kid, I used to have some Yu-Gi-Oh cards also, but they were in English, and of course I didn't know a single word in English. Like I could say like red, blue, or that was all the words in English that I could know when I was a kid. So we played the cards just pretending to be on the anime, like on the cartoons. We made up all the effects from the cards because we had no idea.
Literally what I did with my brother too. I have this very specific memory where I was dueling my brother in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I played Time Wizard. I literally got up and I spun my arm around, being like, "This is the spinner," and depending on where my hand goes, what effect happens. Like,
yeah, I remember one card that it was a trap. I think like a pink card.
Yeah, the trap
it was
card.
a big castle that it was something like give a minion
500 defense.
Give a monster plus 500. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I remember telling my cousin, no, this card it's a castle, so now your monster is trapped inside my castle, so it dies or something like that. I kill his slave or something like that.
Oh my god, dude! Like, did you watch the anime at all?
I used to watch, yeah, but I tried watching it again because it's on Netflix here, but I didn't like it at all.
Did you? Okay, so did you watch the which one did you watch? I'm assuming that you watched like
the original one.
The original one, like
the
sub?
first one.
The Japanese sub?
No, Spanish. In Spanish.
Okay.
So like the Latin.
So question is it run by 4 kids?
I
like
don't
the
know.
animation studio.
I mean,
like
I remember.
Because like I'm wondering what they like, cause like
I have no idea.
Cause like what I wanted to say was at least with Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, like depending on how they translated the show is whether or not you're gonna enjoy it. Cause like I would highly recommend that you find a subbed version of the Japanese version, just because it actually, like, when it's translated properly, there's a whole lot of context that is not given. Like especially in the English version, there is so much censoring that goes on that there's literally, like, you remember the scene where Kaiba jumps out of the window? Like, do you remember that?
And there's two people that are pointing him with a finger.
Literally, they're pointing their fingers
the
at them,
Japanese
but they
version,
have
they
guns. They have guns
yeah.
in the Japanese version.
I spend a lot of time watching watchmojo.com.
Oh yeah.
You know that it's YouTube.
Yeah, top 10s.
And they make a lot of videos about top 10s. There was one video about top 10s censoring moments in Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that, and they mentioned that one specifically.
Finger guns.
That they were actually pointing them with guns. And I don't know. I mean, all the censorship doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. I mean,
they did it because they like I grew up with
from,
4 kids, so like I know why they did that. They did it because they were trying to not like they all the fighting was with like bonks and with like doings and stuff like that. Like anything that was viewed as violent or not appropriate for kids, they out. It was gone.
I once saw in one of those videos from Watch Mojo or from Dorkly, I think it was. They say that there was no such thing as a shadow run.
Yep. Yep. There was just death.
Like the shadow run was something they made for the American version, but it was just death.
Yep.
Like whenever someone was sent to the dark realm or something like that, it meant that they were dead, and that was it.
Yeah, that was something that I came to the realization of like a couple of years ago, and it's just like, oh my god, how could you do that? But there's been so many good memes that have come from the Shadow Realm, though.
Imagine if that was what Hearthstone was all about.
Oh, what, banishing your opponent's soul if they lost? Dude, Yoxeron would literally never get played unless somebody was quite literally insane. It's all up to destiny now. 5% and one of us is dead.
I think I lost a little bit of my life when Zephyrus trolled me several times. So I guess that's kind of it.
He'll be gone soon.
Like whenever Zephyrus gives me the Temple Enforcer instead of Backstab, for example.
I don't understand why there'd be any situation to where, like, how come you cannot get card draw from Zephyrs, but you can easily get a minion that buffs your minion that you really don't care about? Like, I've never seen Zephyrs get like AI or anything like that, but it's technically possible because it's a classic card. But I've never seen it happen.
I don't understand why we are not given fireworks. Like, that's probably
weapons.
The best card you can play on turn 3. That doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, we said we were not going to talk about Hearthstone.
Let's go ahead and
let's go back to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, the next question. Canapesh actually asks, "What's your favorite anime ever, and why is it Naruto?" So this kind of ties into Yu-Gi-Oh as well, if it happens to be your favorite anime. But let's go ahead and discuss some of your favorite animes that you like to watch. Why is it Naruto?
It's not Naruto. Sorry, I only saw a few episodes of it. It's so long that I just couldn't even start.
It takes a minute. I've seen a lot of Naruto. I haven't watched Boruto yet, but Naruto is pretty good. Like, Shippuden is really worth it, but it takes a minute to watch what you need to, understand in order to actually enjoy it. But if you give it time, it's worth it.
One anime that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid was Slam Dunk. Have you ever heard of it?
Wait, isn't that the basketball anime?
Yes.
I haven't watched it, but I've seen some funny clips from it.
I used to love it. Like when I was a kid, I used to play basketball. I remember watching it. I loved it. I know almost no one that saw that anime from my country. I don't know why, but no one remembers it. Um, I also watch a lot of. I already said Avatar, The Legend of Korra, and
Yeah.
The Last Airbender.
Would you
I
technically
love
classify
it.
that as anime? There's a lot of people that have that conversation where it's like, no, it's a cartoon.
I mean, it has something from anime and something from cartoon, I guess. I don't know. I just like it. That's all that matters to me.
That's that's the best. That's honestly the
Um,
opinion to have. That's the right one.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I love watching cartoons, actually. I think I will regret saying this, but last year I watched the 5 seasons of Shira. Do you know what that is?
Wait, the 5 seasons of
She-Ra.
She-Ra? Are you talking about the
Yeah,
He-Man?
I mean the new version from Netflix. Yeah, but there's a new version of it on Netflix, which is like literally a cartoon made for 7-year-old girls. And somehow I just couldn't help it. I saw the whole 5 season of it. It's all about unicorns and princess and stuff like that.
I actually
I
watched a
don't
lot
know,
of
I
like
just love
Powerpuff
it.
Girls back in the day, but I never really got into like anything else like
Yes,
that though. But
is it
Powerpuff Girls was
called,
pretty freaking
uh,
metal though.
is it called Moho Ho Ho in English? The monkey with the thing in his head?
Yeah,
How is
yeah.
it called?
Mojo Jojo.
Moho Ho Ho. I never understood some of the characters from that series. I don't know, like It, was it called? Or Him, I don't know what's the translation in English.
The weird
The
red
one
guy.
that was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I never understood it.
I
I don't know, it was so weird when I was a kid.
I had
don't
no
know.
idea what that thing was. I thought
Yeah,
it was
I
like the
know that.
literal devil. Like I was so confused by that character
It was
too.
devil, I guess.
Was it
Yeah.
actually the devil?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
literally?
so weird. Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Powerpuff
Um,
Girls are literally beating
know,
up
I
the
used
literal
to-
devil. So wait, where's God in all of this? So if
Yeah,
the devil has
sometimes.
existed, that means that God has to be in this world, right?
I mean, I don't know.
This
I don't know.
this is getting
Like,
oddly philosophical.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was just about to say that the guy who made the Powerpuff Girls is kind of a god because he made life out of nowhere.
That's a
But-
theory right there. That he's God and like God accidentally
know.
created humans with chemical X. There we
Science.
go. Full circle. Full circle. We got a conspiracy going. Professor
I don't know,
Utonium
I
is
don't know.
actually God. Oh my god.
I think I drank too much for net already.
Onto the next question. It's from I think it's from is it Tierras de Fuego? Is that how you pronounce it?
Tierras
Yeah,
with
Tierras.
double R, just
Yeah.
like Rane or Rami.
I'm gonna have to get used.
Tierras
Gonna have to get
de
used to
Fuego.
that. It's who do you prefer? Do you
Yeah,
prefer Rani or Julian?
Rane or Julian? I think I already answered that on a tweet.
Yeah, you did.
because,
You did.
Rane showed the video from the interview between TJ and I, in which he asked me who my favorite caster was, and I automatically said that it was Frodan, and also Rane from Argentina. And he started joking and saying, "No, wait, you have to say me. You have to say TJ." And I tried to avoid that question and said that I also like Gia a lot.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
honestly
pretty
I
funny
cracked
moment.
up laughing when I heard the
Um,
Gia bit, and freaking TJ doesn't even know 10 casters.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of casters actually.
Yeah, so do I. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of
I
in the
guess-
business for it, but
I mean, there's so many casters from the Latin community that are actually pretty good, honestly. Like, if you, I know that Rane has casted in English several times already. Uh, Everyone that saw him could say that he's actually incredibly good at what he does. And so are many of the other people from my country and from Latam. People from Tierras de Fuego, they've been casting tournaments like for 4 years already.
Oh wow, really? So
And
they've been around for a while.
they're quite good at it, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to
Well,
cast
between-
with anyone from Latin America, but I've been casting a lot of Latin American matches. Like Den and I were pretty much in charge of that region for a while, and oh god, who was the player that we saw a lot that was really impressing us? I can't remember specifically. Oh, I think it was Tincho. I think it was Tincho.
I mean, it was
specifically.
probably Tincho.
Yeah, it was Tincho.
I mean, there's so many good players here. Like, we have Tincho, we have Rase, Dimitri Kasov, Joaquin. There are many good players from Latam that I hope one day we're going to see in GM. I hope. Like, I said in a tweet, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, that the Brazil community actually have 14 players qualified to the next Master Tour.
Yeah, I
And
noticed
that's a lot.
that. And fun fact, we
And
actually
they have so
we're gonna
many
get
good players.
Naysale on this show at some point. Like she's already agreed to do this.
Who? Sorry?
Naysale, from Brazil.
Nasal.
Might be
How is it written? Sorry.
might be mispronouncing it. Let me send it to you real quick. Nayara Silvestre.
Oh, Nayara.
Nayara, yeah. I'm
Nayara.
terrible at names. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, but she's
Nayara.
also agreed to
Yeah,
to do this as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
she's
awesome.
an absolute
she's,
absolute monster
she's
on Open
been-
Cups.
Yes, I remember when I went to Texas, I actually prayed that I never had to face her because it was impressive. Like a year ago, she was like literally the best Latin player in every single Master Tour. She was doing so right. I heard that she qualified to this Master Tour also.
Yeah.
She got 4 top 8s, I think. She got it like in the second week or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
she was literally the first person to
Wow.
qualify for
Yeah.
4 out of 4s. Like it was, she got 4 top 8s when I got 1. Like I couldn't get one.
Yeah,
I couldn't
she's
get any
so
more
good.
this season, but I got 1 top 8 at least.
I remember that some years ago, some people joked that she didn't qualify, that it was actually his boyfriend, her boyfriend. That, I mean, her boyfriend is Nalguinan.
Yeah.
Some people joked that she didn't play or something like that, and she proved every single one of them wrong. Just playing on Master Tours, just saying, "Hey, look, I am playing right now, and I am beating you." And that's
Exactly.
awesome. Like, I remember one game between Nayara and how is it him called? Jay, I think. Jay Huang or something like that. One kid that is known to be a
Oh,
not
yes,
well-mannered, let's
Jay.
say.
And she smacked him. She smacked him silly, and it was the
Yes.
most justice. Like, oh my god, I believe in justice because of that game. I literally watched that, and I was so freaking.
I was
I
so
tweeted about
happy.
that. I literally tweeted about that game.
Yes. Yes. I've never been more proud about someone in that moment. Like,
It was a really
that
close
made me
game
so
too.
happy.
It was extremely close.
Yes. I mean, Jay is a great player. Everyone knows that. He's like, he makes it to top one legend every single time he wants to. Nayara just, she played perfectly. I'm so proud of her. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that you're going to interview her.
Yeah, I honestly can't believe
Nice.
that she was interested. Like, I was more so just like completely overwhelmed with how many people are actually interested in this project. Like, I won't say everybody
Nice.
who's interested in this, but I've got 6 people that are like for sure they want to do this. And like, I think that like
Oh,
just
am I
that.
one of them?
Yes, yeah, you were one of the 6. But yeah, it's just like it's absolutely it's crazy. It's crazy that people would actually just want to like just talk with me specifically, because it's just talking about Hearthstone, like stuff that's not
Why?
Hearthstone, and like, well, I don't know.
I mean,
It's like
you're
go ahead.
dude, you're a fun person, and I actually like talking to you a lot. Like I remember when before I met you, I was like, oh, who's this guy? I really like his videos. I would just come say hi to his stream. I just out of nowhere started talking to you because I like your Hearthstone content because of all the memes and all the stuff you make. I guess other people also are interested. That speaks well about your job. Like all
Yeah,
the stuff you
like
do is great. So
everything
I
everything I try to do is just literally to either make people laugh or to make people have a good time or to, turn people on to these cards that they usually will immediately dismiss. Like, that's part of the reason why I love content creation, is because I can quite literally do whatever the hell that I want. And it seems that people are enjoying whatever the hell that I want to do. So it's just kind of like,
yes,
it's like a
that's
self-feeding
awesome.
machine, you know?
Yeah, I love all your content. Like you make some videos that I love so much, and your stream too. Like, you usually stream at when I am already sleeping, but whenever I stay awake late, like right now, I always try to come and say hi or something to your stream because I really like your content,
I'll
and
have
I'm
to keep
happy
that in
that you're
mind.
making these videos too.
I'll have to keep that in mind when I make my schedule, because like at the moment the only reason why I don't have a schedule is because I mean I'm a student. Like I literally don't know my like I literally never know my schedule is until I wake up. I see what have put myself into. I kind of like today I woke up and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta interview Rami, I gotta go pick up my girlfriend, and I gotta do all this other school stuff, and I've like quite literally been either at my computer or in my car since 9 a.m. and like this is like a new world for me in terms of like always being productive and always making stuff, because that's part of the reason why I got into it, was because I had a lot of free time. And I was just grinding Hearthstone, not doing anything, and just throwing games and just like watching YouTube and stuff like that. And like I got sick of just not doing something productive, and I think that's the biggest thing with wanting to get into content creation, is that, and a huge shout out to Dexter for telling me to edit videos was really easy, because that was one reason why I didn't want to do it, was because I was overcomplicating how hard it was to start, and it is the hardest thing to actually do to start it up, but it's not as complicated as you are probably thinking it is, and that's the biggest thing I would suggest to content creators that are on the edge of not wanting, or that are on the edge of wanting to do it. Just take a step, do it for a little bit, see what the world is like, and then make your opinion about it, versus just not even, starting. Like, you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, one thing that I like from what you just mentioned is how important it is to have a schedule.
Yes.
Like, I remember when last year I never actually learned how to train for Hearthstone. Let's say, like how to practice, how many hours you have to spend playing Hearthstone and stuff like that. So I was just like jamming 10 hours of Hearthstone per day, maybe 12 or 14 hours a day playing Hearthstone. And that was not healthy at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like, I was losing my mind because I was playing so much Hearthstone and yet I was not improving at all in what I was doing. And that got me so frustrated that I decided to hire how's it called? Some kind of esports psychologist, which she helped me organize my schedule so I could. She literally just told me I was not able to play more than 4 hours of Hearthstone every single day. Well, actually, I made it to 6 hours later because we just talking. I say that 4 was not enough, but well,
Especially if you have
anyway,
Control
I
Warrior and
went
like
from
control
playing.
matchups. Yeah, like 4 hours is actually not that much time to
Yeah,
practice all the matchups you need to in Hearthstone. That really speaks to how much preparation you have to do.
yeah, but I went from playing 14 hours every single day of Hearthstone to just playing 6 hours, and because I was able to make a better schedule, I was able to just wake up every single day at 8 a.m. and play Hearthstone until I don't know 12 p.m. Then stop and keep going at I don't know 2 p.m. or something like that. It was way more healthier. Sorry. Um, it just you need to do that, I think, because if you just try to play whenever you want and uh, just stay awake the whole night playing, and then the following day you're going to feel like garbage because you can't think at all if you are tired.
Exactly.
So trying to, yeah, um, I don't know. I just wanted to point that out that I really like having a schedule. And it's something that I can't have right now because I have this little puppy right here that doesn't allow me to sleep at all.
Yeah, goodbye to
But
your schedule. Ali, the
yeah, I hope one
Alkaline has
day
been
I am going to be able to sleep again.
yeah, Alkaline has been posting a lot on Twitter about her Saint Bernard that she got. Do you know the girl that did the Dr. Boom cosplay?
No, who's he?
I'll have to link her Twitter and I'll actually just give it to you real quick just so you can check her out. I'm pretty sure you maybe have like seen her
Okay.
before. She's very active in the Twitter realm, but she's a Hearthstone streamer that focuses on cosplay a lot of the time, and she's done like major cosplay events at BlizzCon. And the one thing that she's really known for is that you remember Dr. Boom, Mad Genius? She made that into a cosplay, and she was Dr. Boom for a bit.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that's her, and she's
Wow.
she's a
Yeah,
F2
yeah,
car.
I remember that cosplay.
Yeah, she was a Fate to
Nice.
Karma streamer. She's really
Oh,
awesome. Like her stream content is awesome. In terms of that, she just really does what she wants all the time, whether that be Hearthstone Battlegrounds, cosplaying, and she always uplifts other female streamers because she's really trying to like support people in her own community. Like she's always retweeting stuff from Celissa. She's always interacting with I think Dawn on Twitter as well. And she's also really good friends with some other people in the Magic the Gathering scene, like Zachabras. I'm probably butchering her name, but yeah, like she's the kind of content creator I want to see more often because I love it when other content creators are lifting other people with them, especially in this situation to where she's trying to like help other female Hearthstone streamers break the mold. And recently, Run, she said, I think got 100 subs with a lot of like the help that has been going on with like community and whatnot, because she just came back into streaming. So just like, as much as I know I said we wouldn't talk about the Hearthstone
Nice.
community, like there's just a lot of times where like the Hearthstone community is just human, and we're not even playing the game. We're just having a good time, just being with each other, like kind of like what's going on right now. If it weren't for this game, this conversation would literally not be
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing about video games in general, and especially in Hearthstone, that the community sometimes it's so supportive of each other. And for example, with the whole situation with Luna,
Yes.
the way every single one tried to support her, I honestly started crying when I was reading her tweet longer explaining her situation, and all the comments saying that we love her and we accept her just like the way she is. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
That second I felt like this community this is great. This is great.
100%. I was
Just-
sold on that
just
situation too, because like that's just exactly what you want. Because like in the position of being a grandmaster, nonetheless, like you're literally like you're the person that everyone is looking at in that position. Like, if you're a grandmaster, everyone who plays competitive Hearthstone is looking at you to some degree. So that is obviously going to come with its own pressures and whatnot. And so, like, with everything else that's going on with Luna's life, I'm just being able to not only open up like that, but being able to be, you know, accepted is it's mind-boggling. It really is, and in such a good way that we're starting to come in a like we're just supportive. We're 100% supportive no matter how someone is, and we want them to know that. Like, it just like Darrock Brown, for example, is always trying to uplift Luna in any way that he possibly can, and that's just one thing that I love about Darrock is how inclusive he is, and just like he's always talking about like Sun Glitters as well, like, and especially with like how she doesn't want to like show her face and stuff like that. Some people kind of give her like some ridicule for that, but you got to understand their perspectives. Like, there are some things that Luna and that Sun Glitters and that all different content creators are going through, and as long as you just, you know, understand what they're going through and work with them, you're gonna have a great time with them. I love the Hearthstone community. I absolutely love it.
One thing about Darrock, I love the way he always speaks with the whole LATAM community, and he's always tweeting stuff in Spanish when talking to us, and I love him. Like,
yeah, and he's been recently doing that with APAC
like,
as well.
Vamos.
Like, back when Glory was getting a lot of attention.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. But whenever a player from Brazil, for example, qualifies to the Master Tour, or even when how is he called? Frenetic won the last Master Tour, and Darrock was one of the first persons to go and congratulate him in Spanish. That was awesome. Yeah, I love him.
All right. I think I'm actually running out of topics here. We've been going about this for about 3 hours now almost, and good lord, like
really?
Yeah, it's been 2 hours and 49 minutes that I've been recording this.
And you still have to edit all this content.
I mean, it won't be that
that
hard to edit. I've been taking notes, so like the hardest part is just gonna be putting the pictures in the right place, and unfortunately, with technical difficulties and this being my very first time, there were some synchronized audio, but this is something that people can just listen in another window, so I'm not too worried about that.
It just happens.
Yeah, exactly. And the important part is we had this conversation, we had fun, and hopefully we can do something like this again.
Yeah, we're having fun. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I would love to. Yeah.
But Rami, do you have any closing remarks that you would like to say while we're here?
I don't know. Thanks for inviting me. I love all the stuff that you make. I already said that, but I wanted to say it again because you should feel proud about all that you do. That's it. Shout out to my team. I finally got our t-shirt from at 80K Mode.
Yeah, it looks slick.
They sent it to me on November, I think, and I finally got it like 3 months later. But well, it is here. Look, and I will wear it on the Master Tour. I don't know. Shout out to my brother if he's watching this later, and to my friends.
Well, definitely shout out to you as well for coming on to this. Like, being the very first guest, I really believe that you're really set like a huge precedent. Like, the fact that a Hearthstone Grandmaster would want to do something like this, just and I plan on like going from from Hearthstone Grandmasters to up to like really popular content creators, as well as like personal friends that I would love to get on this, because I just want to like have an interesting conversation with quite literally anybody. So if I can just keep hammering these out, I would love to do like one of these like once a week if at all possible. But yeah, I just huge thank you for literally like enabling me to do this, because I literally made that tweet on a whim and then suddenly everyone was like, yes, do it. And so now I'm doing it.
Awesome. Nice. May I ask you something, please?
Yeah, sure.
Could you please make Lysimos sing the song live on one of your interviews. The Lead Priest song, please.
Lazemos, you heard it here first.
That's all I ask.
You have been charged with this Grandmaster task.
I need to hear that song again.
I will write that down. So be sure to tag or to let Lazemos know that he needs to watch this this whole thing. But I will also let him know that he has people that he's got to impress. Hey there, Delilah Live.
I love that song.
All right. Well, I think this is going to be the end of it. Rami, again, thank you so much for your time. This is the very first episode of Hearth. Is it Home and Hearth? I actually don't even remember. Ridiculous Hat is the one that gave me the title of this. Yeah, Home and Hearth is the name of this this video series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to comment someone that you would love to see interviewed by me, Clark HELLSCREAM. And feel free to let us know what you guys liked in this interview, because the whole thing about this is that we're learning more about our favorite Hearthstone content creators in a way that's not just Hearthstone. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. Feel free to like the video, to subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully we'll check you guys out next time. We'll see you for the next video. Thanks you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching.